1 2 check chuffy 1 2. Check chuffy chuffy 1 2. Let me just check this chuffing working. Oh, hey, cat. It's not right, is it? The cat's just pulled me chuffing headphone. You messing up? She gone. 1 2 check. Oh, I can't hear it. Straight in with the action. Straight in with the action. 1 2 check. What am I doing? 1 2 check. Yeah, I can hear me. Okay. That's fine then. That's fine. We're here. Discovery flights. You can tell what's happening. This is Flight Simulator Chuffing 2020. New computer. Stream rocking and rolling. I'm here, full controlling. Not usually here on a Friday night. On the old YouTube. What is it, even the 2117 on the old YouTube? Got you up there. You're in chat up there. You're up there. You're over there. Let's get on with it. I'm your captain. And the plan is, it's a bit of a chill stream. I've just recently today got my pilot, well, I haven't really got my pilot's license. We did 12% of our flight training. So check out the earlier stream from today. 12% of our flight training in the bag. And then I went out and walked the dog, and because there's these discovery flights, and you don't have all of them, the chuffers. This is what this game's like, I've learned. Spent 50 quid on the chuffer. If I want to go to Mecca... Oh, I can. I've got that. Oh, we might go and have a look at that. Alright. But some of them... and I don't know which ones. It doesn't tell you which ones you own and which ones you don't. That one's got a download thing, so maybe I don't have that. Not owned. Go to Marketplace. Look, go to Marketplace. Let me show you. Hope it doesn't come up with my bank details. It's... Oh, it's free? Oh, I didn't... Earlier on, I said select everything that I don't have to pay for. Select everything, download it. Free. Get and download. Required disk space, 13 gig. We've already done over 100 gig on this game. So look, we'll come to that when we come to it. The ones that you have to download. Because I thought... I was about to tell you that I've downloaded everything. I mean, in theory, I have. In theory, I have. Look, Discovery Flights. And... I'm sure there's a way of... So this one is straight there. Straight there. I found a menu earlier and it had a list of all the things, and I clicked select all, download everything, went walking the dog. It was chuffing 12 gig. Come back and we're here. We've got it. So there's a lot of these we have actually got. Wasn't there one I clicked on earlier that I had to pay for? No, look, we've got a load of these. Okay. Evening Squirrel Sniper, how's it going? Good to have you here. We're going to do some chilled flying around. Well, we're not getting into a discussion about the shape of the old globe, but this is a CGI reconstruction. This is CGI for sure, but it might be interesting to see how we fly around this, and it's that's not the purpose of me getting it, but we might, you know, do a stream where we look at it and talk about it in context maybe. But this is the whole world, and it's daytime in America, and it's just getting night time where we live in England. Just getting night time. It's still kind of light out there, but just getting night time in England. This rendered via satellites. This is satellites. This is actually, they take the information from the satellites, like Google Maps do, but and they make it into this instead. So theoretically, you can have today's weather. You can turn on live weather. I don't exactly know how, but it's got it all. It's got it all. It's pretty cool. And what we're going to do in the long term, you know, in future streams, we're going to start off where I live. Not at my house, but over here in the area where I live. Over here, Birmingham, Coventry. And because it's real time, we're going to fly. We've got a few different planes. That's a fast one, the Super Hornet, but we're going to fly something more sedate, more peaceful. Probably something like that. And we'll take it for a nice cruise for an hour. We'll go somewhere. We'll travel the world together in 80 or so streams, going all across this side of things. Probably have a little detour to Africa, I suppose. Going all the way across this side of things and ending up in America. And then we'll come fly over your house, Snips. So that's the plan. And before we do that, I've been learning to fly, flight training. It's actually very detailed, 54% mastered. They say mastered, I haven't even learned how to land or what have you. So, but it's got these other things called activities. So this is what we're doing, 12% mastered, forget that. Discovery flights. We can go around these places. We can just take a nice gentle cruise and we can have a look at them from up in the air. It's satellite generated. It's supposed to be 4K, but again, I don't think I've found that setting yet. I think it's not quite 4K. I think it's doing 1080p, but that's fine. This is push. I've got the new computer there, and it's making the fan go really fast, so it must be pushing it. It's a chill stream. Let's get on with some. Let's go then. We'll start with Egypt. Fly as described, as advertised. This is your captain speaking. We're going to be flying approximately. I don't know how high we're going to be going. And I've got my wires tangled here already. We're going to be flying, I don't know how to fly, in a little aircraft like that, so there won't be any, we're not coming around with the trolley. We're not coming around with the trolley, I'll tell you that. Here we are. Now, since last time, I should have turned down the aeroplane noise, but the sound of the wind is quite loud, isn't it? But that should be relaxing, that's what my hope is. You tell me if it's too loud, the sound balance. Over there's the pyramids, look. This is Egypt. There it is. I like the way it just starts us off in the air so we don't have to mess about. It's not very built up, is it, Egypt? It's just lots of little low. Never been there, but I see it. Lots of little low. And there's the famous pyramids, so we're going to go and have a look at the pyramids in our little airy plane. I'll slow the engine right down. We don't need that going, do we? I suppose we might do, because it might crash. Turn it up a little bit. I've been learning to fly, you see, look. Top Gun. Look. Top Gun. Oh, careful. This is inside the cockpit. It's a lot more peaceful inside the cockpit, look. There we go. Coming over the pyramids now. There they are, look. Look out your window, you'll like this. You ready? Careful, where am I flying? That's a pyramid, it's up close. You've seen that now, enjoy it. That's it, it's gone. There's the Sphynx. Get and have a look at the Sphynx, you look. Ooh, careful with the air, you move it in the aeroplane. Look, there it is, there's the Sphynx. Right, that's gone. Careful, careful. Chuffing out, the alarms are going off. Right, I'll just steady the plane. Nice and relaxing. Like I said, nice and relaxing. No, that's Egypt down there. So, nice and relaxing. There you go, look. And there's another button here that I found just earlier that allowed me to have a good look around. It looks like the plane... Is the plane going alright? Hang on. No! Just parked it there. Just I just parked it. Just parked it on top of someone's house in Egypt. We'll have another go. This time I won't mess about. What I'll do is I'll just fly around the pyramids and we can just have a look at them. What I'm surprised by is there's the little houses. I've got the scale. I get that. I'm surprised that the pyramids aren't that big. Now, I've seen them on the telly, seen them on the internet. I thought they'd be, you know, skyline, like domineering, and I thought they'd be out of the way. I didn't realise that, like, I knew. You see all this open land, don't you, when you see the pictures of the pyramids? You see all that open land. But you don't see all this. All the houses. Just turn the engine down. I don't like the engine on. Turn the engine down. You think of them, I think of them out away, out in the desert somewhere. And I think of them as being really big. But I think when you look at them from... Oh. Careful, a little alarm there. Don't stall the plane, Scotty Hottie. I think when you see them like this, for me, they look a little bit small. Hang on, I've got that menu. Get rid of that menu. Get rid of that entirely. You don't need the mouse cursor. Right. And they start us off in this flight path. And we're at the back. There's the Sphinx, she's over there, so we want to go around, don't we? You can see from here though, look, you can see all the, it used to be covered in marble. Obviously the layers have been peeled off over the years. It used to be covered in marble. So it would have looked different, it would have been all shiny. Flat. That looks like it's got a bit of a crack in the bugger. There's the Great Sphinx. It's not so great, is it? Look. It's not so great. It's not as big as what I thought it was. It's only little down there. I suppose if you stood on the ground, it looks big. I'll give it that. But look, there it is. Now flying over the Great Sphinx of Giza. It's only little down there. And they all live by it, look. Now, I've got absolutely no sense of, you know, what's good round here. Look at all the trees. What's this? I wouldn't have expected this. All these trees. I wonder if they're artificially maintained or if that's like they just got water and I thought it was desert. Look at all these trees. This is like Central Park, Giza style. Alright, Giza. They do look small from up high, yeah, but like there's little buildings. I thought the Sphinx, I thought if you saw it on the horizon now, it'd be like massive. But like, because we'll go to New York in a minute, and New York is very different to this. This is all quite low down. They don't go up above two stories, do they? Look, not much above 2 stories round here. Little square boxies. These are fields. They look nice. I thought it was all desert. That's the super highway. The AI pilot assist is flying the aircraft because I was going to crash us into the. Right, AI. I'll try not to crash us. What's wrong with what I'm doing? I'm all right. Look, here we go. Because we need to steady to have a look at the place. So this is like main Cairo, yeah? I don't know. I haven't got a fucking clue. But this is it. Chill stream. You could sleep to this. You could fall asleep to this. The engine noise and me whittering on. Finally got the hang of the sim. Yeah, I think I'm getting the hang of it. Well, this mode starts you off in the air, so you don't have to take off and land. You just fly around these places. And all I have to do is avoid crashage. And that noise means I'm fucking it up. No, whoa, I'm not fucking up that bad. No. I don't know how that happened. He like magnetically drew me to the ground. He jinxed me, PTFS Condor Airlines. He fucking jinxed me. You're like, you're doing it. You're flying. That's going well. And I was like, yeah, I've absolutely got that. And then, imagine that as well. Imagine you sat next to me on the, like, this is going well, you say, as we just cruise gently towards the pyramids. And I turn to you and say, yeah, I've kind of got the hang of it before pulling us into a death spiral and ending our existence parked in someone's roof. Someone's sitting there in Egypt saying it's a hot day today. We're just going to stay inside with the air conditioning on. Do you want to go and have a look at the pyramids? No, I see them all the time over the hills. We're just going to stay in today with the air conditioning on. Put Rick and Morty on the telly, and then boom, out through the ceiling. There we go. She's like, I'll tell you what this is. I can't keep saying it because it really will get me banned off YouTube. But isn't it like terrorist trader simulator? It's a joke. It's only a joke. You're allowed to joke about these things these days. We'll go to New York in a minute and fly around there and see if we can't avoid the... Well, the Twin Towers aren't there anymore, are they? So we'll try and land at ground zero. That'll be appropriate, won't it? Not enough thrust. I do like to turn the engine down because it makes a noise. Look, I'll turn it down. There you go. Engine down. That's much more peaceful. And we can still glide. I guess we should have it on. I don't know what the sweet spot is for the engine. The aeroplane seems to like it on. An AOA there, 2 degrees, whatever AOA is. I don't know what that is. 1 degrees. It's not how hot it is it? But it doesn't like it when you start to jink it around it. It doesn't like pointing upwards, anti-stall. No, it doesn't like going up. You have to go up really gently. Going down, it's fine with that. Going up, didn't like it. So you have to be careful. Because I guess if I stall it, then we're in trouble, aren't we? That's a main thing with these aircraft. Stalling it, definitely trouble. Right, let's try and just... We're not going to turn heavy, we're just going to gently come around this way. What I should have done is I should have gone on the internet and looked at... When you start to glide, forget a climb, you'll end up stuck. Right. Got to keep it on. I should have learned about the pyramids before we started, but there's 3 of them, aren't there? There's the Great Pyramid. Isn't there the Step Pyramid? I thought there was one at Cheops. They've labelled the Sphynx. Artificial intelligence is saving our lives here, so thanks, artificial intelligent overlords. I'm glad of you. Please don't murder me. When it turns to Skynet and the Terminators come, please just... I'm on your side. I'll leave Alexa on listening to the Lex Fridman podcast so it can learn some stuff. Oh, look at this. It's not as big as you think it is it? I reckon I can climb that. Like, these aren't real houses anymore. These are just mud piles, but there used to be houses where people lived. But I reckon I can climb that. Like, what is it? 3... It's more than 3 stories high, isn't it? The highest I've gone on a ladder on a roofing job was, I think, 5 stories. You include the roof, I guess. It was like a 4-story... Oh, shit, I'm doing this thing again. Death spiral. Hang on. Steady us up. If Elon Musk is watching this, look, I could fly you around in a plane, Elon. Probably only kill you 30% of the time. Accidentally, so it wouldn't even be my fault. Look, Great Sphinx of Giza, the Great Sphinx you could definitely climb on top of. It's only the size of like a 2-story, 3-story house. So being on top of that wouldn't be that bad. Look, from a distance now, oh, doesn't that look nice? I wonder if I can get a nice view. Isn't there one of these cameras that does me view camera? I'm crashing us. Pull up. There's the sun in the background. There's the pyramids. I want to take us away from the pyramids and then fly towards them so we can have a look at the Sphinx head on as we attempt to not crash into it. But I'm actually surprised about how much of this sort of urban sprawl, suburbia... They're not really packed in, are they, these buildings? There's a lot of space around, I suppose, isn't there? They're all quite low, quite flat. It must be something to do with the architecture and the heat, I'm guessing. But there's no skyscrapers or anything. What's that over there? Is that more pyramids over there? I thought I'd just come from the pyramids. Great Giza Pyramid Complex. What's that over there? I'm having it over there. We're away over there now. Everyone else on the tour, they're at the main pyramid complex. They think, where are they going? I thought they were going to fly around us. I thought they were coming to fly around the Sphinx. He's gone. He's gone. Pyramid's about half the height of the Eiffel Tower. I've been up the Eiffel Tower. That didn't shit me up too bad. But then, you know, there's a fence. I reckon I could probably climb the pyramids. I mean, it'd worry me, but you've got to just be on your game, haven't you? And if you put a foot wrong, that's you. But I reckon I could probably climb them. What's this there? Is that the Nile? It's a little river. That can't be the Nile. Can it? That can't be the Nile. It's only thin, little. Thought the Nile was a big chuffer. But then, what are these waterways doing if they're not the Nile? There must be canals. There must have... Oh, this little plane don't like it, does it? This little plane don't like it when you try and fly around. It's the only thing a plane's designed to do. It's got a little alarm in case you can't try and fly it too much. Hey, hang on, you're flying me a bit here. Give me a bit of the old flight frights, fritz. It won't like that, look, I'm trying to bring us up. I wonder if there's like a limit to how high a little plane can go. Should we find out? No, let's fly over to these pyramids and let's have a good look at them. But look at it, isn't it interesting? That's Egypt. It's greener, much more green than I thought. I had this impression in my mind that it'd all just be desert and sand. I suppose at some point there's a limit to this and you can fly into just the desert and the sand. Warehausen. Verhausen. Where the werewolves live. In the Warehausen. That's not how Egyptians talk. That's German. Look at it, isn't it nice? Palm trees and stuff. I bet you could come and walk the dog out here. You have to watch out you don't get eaten by a crocodile. Probably. Dates. Dates, yeah. There's dates are used quite commonly in Islamic country. Well, you'd have to be Islamic when you're doing the fasting for Ramadan. When they break the fast, dates are quite commonly used. It's quite a sugary fruit, isn't it? Quite a sweet, sugary fruit, and they're quite commonly used to break the fast. Look at these waterways. I'm assuming these are canals. They can't be the Nile, can it? Is that the Nile? It probably might be a tributary. I'll have to find out. Little roads there that go into the river. I'm assuming there's supposed to be bridges that are not being rendered. Rendered from satellite imagery in 4K, as advertised to me, but I haven't got it running in 4K, I don't think. But look at that. Pyramid of Goza, like out of the Ghostbusters. This is your captain speaking. We're now approaching the Pyramid of Goza. If you are the keymaster, Zool and the keymaster. One of them was the keymaster. What was the other one? It's going to bring us over to the Pyramid of Goza. This is more like it. This is what I imagine, though. Look, Egypt down there is going to peter out in a minute, isn't it? Look, and we're going to go to some pyramids up on this. That's what I imagine Egypt has out there. All sand. Not all this nonsense. What's all this? Houses and trees and green. Looks lovely. Doesn't it look peaceful and nice down there? Yeah. The gatekeeper, that's it. The gatekeeper and the keymaster. This is the pyramid. This is where they got it from, the Pyramid of Goza. The gatekeeper and the keymaster here. Ghostbusters 5 set in Egypt. You could do that, you could have a crossover with the mummies and that, couldn't you? Well, this one looks rubbish, doesn't it? I'm glad we flew all the way out here. This is one of those where, like, it's either been there so long that they've let it go to rack and ruin, or people have come and nicked the bits off it, because some of the Great Pyramids, some of the stones were just removed from previous pyramid structures. There's a lot more than I thought, though. Look, there's a few more out there as well. I wonder how urbanised this area was. Probably not very urbanised when they were doing the pyramids. Now we're sort of on the edge, aren't we? Look how much... What's going on with all those trees? How come Egypt's got so many trees? I thought it was all... What's this over here? This would be a mastaba. Or is this like a... It's just a very low building, like a little centre for Egypt studies or something. Popped one little building out there. There's another one. They're not old buildings, are they? They're just little buildings. Let's pop them out there. They're all very low, aren't they? No one's putting any pitched roofs on either. They're all flat roofs. I suppose it doesn't rain very much. I don't know. The Red Pyramid. Come on then. I'm expecting some... is the sun going down or is the sun staying... maintaining... Can't tell. I can't... Is that sun going down? Can't tell. Egypt in Berkshire. Lovely palms. They are lovely palms. I wonder if there was... Co-pilot, you can leave the flight when you want using the menu button. I'm alright, co-pilot. I'm coming to look at the Bent Pyramid and the Red Pyramid. These are the least popular of the pyramids, I'm imagining. Bent Pyramids can't be... They can't be lining up to go and visit the Bent Pyramid, can they? Did you go to Egypt? Yeah, oh yeah, we went to Egypt. Did you have a good time? Oh yeah, it was lovely. We went up in this plane and he flew us around the pyramids. Oh, the pyramids! Did you see the Sphynx? Well, we saw it briefly, but he really wanted to take us off and show us the Bent Pyramid. The Bent Pyramid? Yeah, the Bent Pyramid. It's not the most popular one. Is it bent? Like, on a wonk? I don't know, we haven't seen it yet. Yeah, he took us out to see the Bent Pyramid and the Red Pyramid. What was it like, just desert, I suppose? Yeah, it was just like the desert. There was a lot more trees than I imagined, but they were way over there, and he took us right out in the desert to see the bent pyramid. Do you not run out of fuel? No, these airplanes seem to magically have maximum fuel for the entire journey, so that's helpful as well. That sunset is nice, isn't it? This is the computer running at its peak, I imagine. It's not. I don't know if I've got it on 4K settings. I think there is a setting for 4K settings, and I don't know if I've activated it, but because I just downloaded this yesterday, well, the day before, but it took an entire day. That's the red pyramid. I don't know how red it looks. We'll come back round and have a look at it once we've seen the bent pyramid. God, there's another thing off in the distance as well. Let's just see the bent pyramid and go back. Fast as you like, little plane. This is your captain speaking. We're now approaching the bent pyramid. If you'd like to buckle your seatbelts after we've viewed the bent, look at it all out there, Egypt. After we've viewed the bent pyramid, we're going to be taking manoeuvres to try and turn around, so it might result in a death spiral. So if you'd like to buckle your seatbelts, look at the, whoa, oh, that's me doing that, sorry. The bent pyramid there, look. It is a bit rubbish, isn't it? It is. Proper rubbish. Oh, I see now, look, it's two planes. It's like one thing, and then a second slight. They've changed the angle of the slope as they've got higher. They've probably got high up, and they've thought, fucking hell, I don't like this. Let's just change the angle of the slope to make it a bit safer to work on. And the boss has gone, what's that going on here? You're going out here? You're going out on your line. Look, you've 3 courses out here on your line. What? 3 courses, as it's going up, they've noticed. They say, well, we could take it all back now if you want. We could start taking the bricks off if you want, but won't get finished. Won't get finished in time now at this rate. Ah, and the foreman's had to make a decision. Do you want it finished in time, or do you want it the right shape? He's looking at the Pharaoh, and the Pharaoh ain't got long. Finish it. You sure? What if the Pharaoh's cross here? He won't be able to argue, will he? You'll be in there now. Really furious. No wonder mummies come back to life and haunt people and chase them down. If that was the job they did on your chuffing pyramid, you'd be like, for Christ's sake, bankrupted the kingdom for that. Put a fucking wonk on the top. Coming back round now to the red pyramid. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Oh shit, I'm looking out the window. I should be focusing on what we're doing. This is your captain speaking. Look at the reflection in the glass. Sunset and everything. This is the red pyramid, and it does look quite red in the sunset. It's a much more sweet and tidy shape. The sides are slightly concave. Did you know that? They are. The sides are slightly concave. There's a line down the middle there, and they're slightly concave. That's the red pyramid. Enjoy it. It's the last time you're going to see it. The sun has actually gone down now, hasn't it? Look, it is going down behind the pyramid there. Oh, you saw it again. I lied. This is the last time you're going to see it. We're going to now head back to the official proper pyramids. They were the rubbish. They're the B tier pyramids, aren't they? Pyramid tier list maker. Fasten your seatbelt. Hi, Joe. Thank you very much for your tippies, Joe. I did notice. Thank you very much for your tippies. We're playing Flight Simulator. Thanks to the tippies and chippies that have been chipped in. I decided to spend 50 quid and buy the chuffer. And it's kind of worth it, isn't it? Look, we're getting to see around the world. Getting to see around the world. And you will have to fasten your seatbelt. It is a bit of a choppy ride sometimes. But I'm trying to keep it nice and steady. That's the Pyramid Dozer. We've seen that one. Where's... Oh, there they are. Out there. Okay. Evasive manoeuvres coming up. That's the Forest of Egypt, which I didn't know existed. Great. They have it away, don't they, really? They have it away. They're there telling you on the telly, oh, it's all the desert and the crocodiles and the Nile. And I've always pictured it, you know, Moses and the basket of reeds. I've always pictured it like a desert and the crocodiles. But they're having it away, look. They've got a massive forest. they're having it away. They don't want you to see that. Keep sending us the water. Keep sending us the water. Did you like... Thanks. Keep sending us the water. Bottled water and that. They don't want you to see the forest. I didn't know Egypt had a big forest. Makes it much more pleasant for me though. It makes me think I might one day want to go there. Because I thought I'd be Thought I'd be all hot in the sun. Sun's gone down now, look, lovely. Real-time sunset. The game's in real time, so it will take us as long as it takes us to fly from there to there in one of these little planes. And we're doing upgraded your insurance. Well, I was trying to make it just go steady up then, I made it go down. That's the danger in these planes. The controls are reversed. Up is down and down is up. But you can feel confident, can't you, look? You can feel confident that if we were in a real flight situation, let's say we'd gone to Egypt and we'd taken one of these little... We've gone to Egypt for our holidays and we've... Careful. We've booked one of these little planes to go and have a look at the pyramids in. And the pilots... Oh, quick, I've got to bundle him out the way now. I'm bundling him out the way. I've got the controls. I'll just pull us up there. Has he got a parachute? Bundle him out the window. Don't tell anyone. Plane's mine now. My plane. What pilot? We didn't book a pilot. We just booked a plane, mate. License? Do you need a license? I've got one from... Well... It says Chuffin... says... whatever the pilot's name is. What's the pilot's name? He's Egyptian. I'm not doing any racism here. His name's... Anyway, look. So now I've got control of the plane. And you feel safe. I remember what these things are. That's the mixture. I don't remember what that is. The throttle, that goes faster and slower. This dial is, if you're crashing into the ground, that'll show you. This one is how fast you're going. So you need that. Even though I don't know what it's relative to, because it's like... knots, isn't it? Knots. Keep... Whoa, steady. Keep going towards the pyramids, up in the air. And the altimeter is like a clock. There's the actual clock, which is good. And the altimeter is like a clock, which makes it really confusing. I'd have thought it'd be better if they just do it like a level gauge, like, you know, here's the ground and here's how high you are. But no, the big hand represents thousands of feet. The smallest hand, which you would have hours, is in tens, or that might be thousands. And the big hand, one of the hands is in thousands, and the little seconds hand is in 10,000s. So at least I've got that. And then over here, if I move into the passenger seat, you take the wheel. Over here we've got, I forgot what that chuffer is. Revs per minute, how fast your engine's burning. don't know if it's what it means. And then you just take the stick and you just jerk it around like this, and that's how you fly a plane. You've got to be really careful not to jerk it around too much, otherwise you crash. And that's it. That's it. They want you to learn about what an airfoil is and that's yoke. But you don't want to do that, look, because look, that's awful. Look at that, you won't want that. No, I'll do it when you're in the cockpit as well, you won't like this. Oh, whoa, stop doing that, that seems really dangerous. Okay, so you don't need that. That's unnecessary. You've also got, that's it. You fly up and down or left and right. Just be really steady. What about trim? I don't know. I think it's on it. I think that because it's got everything, this simulator, it's got the full... It's there on the screen, look, trim. Up, down. I don't know what it is or what it does. So... But it's unnecessary. It's a bit like when they teach you to drive. They're always banging on about your indicators and shit. And like, it's all unnecessary. What you really need to know how to do is not stall it. That's the first lesson, how to not stall it. We've learned that today, look, watch this. Whoa, stalling it, I'm stalling it. No. Don't stall it. Steady it. See, look, I've saved us from death there. How to not stall it. That's lesson 1. And that's it. Steering's obvious. Brakes are obvious. Faster pedal is obvious. Indicators, well, I mean, I don't even know which turning I'm about to go down until I'm halfway down it. So indicators are just... The plane doesn't have indicators, does it? Now get real high and stall the motor. No. That's, you see, that go real high and stall it. That's rule 2, lesson 2. Things you don't want to do. Don't do any of that shit. That would be fucking... Like, I've seen the jets and stuff. This is about my pace as well, this little plane. I don't know why they want to get in it after this. After they've had a go in this, the only thing I'd want is for it to be safer. But they're flying around in jets and flight. Like, let's go fast, they say. Oh, I don't know. I just want to see the scenery nice and gently as I go past, thanks. The higher up you are, the less chance you have of crashing, because you can only crash when you get to the bottom. That's the top tip. The higher up you are, the fewer things there are to crash into. Scott's top tip. Here we are, this is your captain speaking. We're going to try and take the plane relatively high up now. Doesn't go that far, does it? Where's my camera angle one? There's one of these and it's like camera angle special. I can't find it again. Right, forget it. There's like, oh look, the sun's going right down over the horizon now. There it goes. Night flight. James May's not allowed to do this. Got our little lights on, look, red and green, so you know we're in an aeroplane. Little flashy lights at the side there. Ding, ding, ding. That's the proper stuff. Real deal. That's like indicators. Which way are you going? All directions at once according to my indicators. You know those emergency lights? You're not supposed to use them all the time. Your parents used to tell you off. You like to press the button on your car and it tick, 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 tick. And what are you doing pressing those lights? I've locked you in the car as a punishment. Stop messing around. It's like that, isn't it? The emergency light seems to be always going. Little red tail light there, setting me on edge. Okay, here's the Great Sphinx. I'm going to slow us down. Well, I've sped us up. No. I'm going to slow us down. This is what I wanted to do, is approach from this angle and have a look at it. Still not very big, is it? Look. Little old Sphinxy there. And then you come up, up, up. Maybe turn the engine on a bit. It's on a big hill, isn't it? They put this chuffer on a big hill. Up, up, up. Up, up, up. Don't you wimp at me, little plane. Up, up, up. And then there's the pyramid, right? Now imagine you're climbing up that. Oh, God, God. Imagine you're climbing up it in a plane. Shit. I was just going to fly up the chuffer like that. Damage the landing gear. It's worse than that. I've damaged the Great Pyramid. I've damaged the Great Pyramid. The Egyptian tourist board are on at me now. They're on at me. Who's this chuffer? Who gave him a license? He's damaged the Great Pyramid. Max Revs is climbing. We're too late for this. General Cairo Hospital next stop. If you're lucky, everybody out. We're parked. If you didn't think you could climb the pyramid before, you're going to have to now, because it's the only way to get out of this plane to the ambulance. So that was Great Pyramid of Giza, though. That was lovely, wasn't it? That was lovely. Now let's compare it to New York, because New York's very different. Look at it. Isn't New York different? Now, I'm going to be really careful not to crash into any buildings, because New York's got a history with you know, we can't be making any jokes about that. We've just come from Egypt. It's not Saudi Arabia we come from. Egypt. But anyway, in New York, ladies are allowed to drive and have jobs, whereas in Saudi Arabia, look, anyway, no, you're allowed to, I'm only joking. These days, ladies are allowed to drive and have jobs in Saudi Arabia. Sort of. Do you know, in Saudi Arabia, talking of air travel, there's an airbase near you, you waved at a plane, it did loop-the-loop. Fucking hell. They can see you. And they're prepared to do shit like that, which, from short time learning about this, it seems very fucking dangerous. I'm not doing any... I did a little bit and nearly crashed us in a jet plane earlier. We're going to cruise around New York, right? But, I forgot what I was even saying now. Fuck it. Let's go. Cruising. We're straight in. Look. Straight in. And, this is Central Park, I guess. Yeah, Central Park. Look at the... I didn't know how much water there was. Didn't know there was that much water. Which way are we heading? Southwest. I think we want to head east, don't we? And start from, like, out of town by the sea. So there it is off in the distance. We're going to come back to that. I'm just going to turn us really gently, really carefully. No. You. Stall. I'll give you stall. Gently turning his plane now. To the east, right? East must be the sea, mustn't it? Never eat shredded wheat. It must be the sea near east. Right. God, these planes... You can see how they're crashing, can't you? Anyway, look. Look at it jubbling around. I'm not doing that. It's jubbling around.
500.
Go steady, you. So is that the Hudson River? I've got no idea. What I want to do is go east out to the sea and then approach from the seaside and like see what it looks like. Now you're in New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made up. LaGuardia, I don't know what that is. Look at all this though. I was surprised, but I'm surprised immediately now by this. You put all your roads and shit out here, haven't you? Look, your big roads, but there's all this greenery. That's like where I go walking my dog, fields like that. Although there's not as many car parks. There's a lot of greenery here. I suppose we're on the outskirts, aren't we? We're going out to the east, the northeast. Here's the estuary, I'm guessing. Is it? Where's the sea? I thought it was right near the sea. Following a road now. Nice relaxing journey over the industrial estates of eastern New York. Or are they just little industrial buildings, I'm guessing? That was an airport over there.
500.
500. 500 what? Oh, feet. Oh, we better go higher. Oh no, I want to have a look though. I want to have a look. So... just goes on and on. And these houses, I think some of these are houses down here. Like, not houses, but housing blocks. But it just goes on and on. Bit of a river tributary to the river, I'm guessing that. That must be... like, that must be the sea over there, yeah? That must be the sea. And then we'll follow the river in. I'm pretty sure that New York's on a river, the Hudson, is it? Where do I want to go? I just want to start off out of New York and go towards it. So that we're not like bang in the middle when we start. So that we can see it on the horizon. Approach it in the plane. What's this over here? Are those houses? Those little crosses? They're like residential tower things. Are they like the towers in The Wire? Loads of trees as well. So I'm guessing that's over there. Look, there's the sea over there. So we're near the sea now. Don't crash, don't crash. This is what I want. There's the sea. We're going to say we're starting from the sea. What's that? Little park with a baseball field. It just goes on and on. All this urban... look, more and more of these tower blocks. I'm really surprised. This is like... what's that? Is this an airport or a factory? Something's going on. I don't want to leave the flight co-pilot. I want to have a look over here. Co-pilot, you shut up. I know what I'm doing. That's why you're the co-pilot. I'm the main one. They filmed Sully with Tom Hanks landing in the river. Yeah, is that this?
500.
Did you go south? I've gone east, I'm hoping. From Central Park, I'm hoping to go east, but I've gone northeast by mistake because the plane seems to want to go that way. And there's the sea. This is the sea. Don't tell me this is not the sea. Isn't it? Looks surprisingly like a lot of land in the sea, which I didn't expect to see. There should be a button to tell me, like, where I am. Like a world map button. There. Right. That's good. I'm at the sea. Am I? What's all that land? I am confused. I'm going to go there and we'll find out where... Oh, no! Don't kill everyone. I'm going to go there and find out. Sod New York. I'm going over here to find out what's going on. We can go back to New York in a minute. What's all this over here? Can you see where I'm heading? Oh, I'm going to land in the Chuffing River in a minute. You see where I'm heading over there? What is all this? On my map it doesn't look right. I thought New York was on the edge of America. I'm going to have to get a fucking Google Maps out and have a look. I thought New York was on the edge of America, like on the side, like on the coast. They talk about East Coast and West Coast. So I've just started in Central Park, and what's all this sea? This should be the Atlantic, shouldn't it? Well, what's this in the middle of it? Above my head, it's too little on your screen. It's just... You can see it there in front of me. That shouldn't be there, should it? From New York, dead east. Oh, I'm going south now. So that map is wrong. It's confusing me. That map... I want to head east. I'm confused. Which way am I going now? That's my compass. Top left, right? East. This has got to be east. In this little plane. Infinite fuel. I'm going east, yeah, look. I'm going east on the map. Well, what's all this land then? Never eat shredded wheat. Yeah, I'm going away from America, yeah? I'm starting in New York and I'm going away from America. What's Witkin and Dunbo? There must be airports. This is just beyond me. I don't know what... I didn't know this was around near New York. Look at it! Mansion houses. Greenery. Is this where Johnny Depp and Amber Heard have their fights? Mansion houses, greenery. Smaller houses, but still nice. Just smaller than the mansion houses, but lots of nice houses. Some sort of... I don't know what the chuff that is. This is your captain speaking. I am lost. I don't know what any of this is. We were in Central Park. I don't know what this is. Just gone east from Central Park, really. Don't know what any of this is. There's 4 baseball fields in one there. Looks lovely from the sky, doesn't it? 4. That's not what they shout, is it, in baseball? They don't shout that. Now the weather's coming in. Oh, God. I'm going to get us lost over the Atlantic. Is that the moon? No, it's the sun in the clouds. I don't know. More nice little houses. God, look at all the trees. I didn't know there were so many trees. Someone's got a swimming pool there. Nice little house with a swimming pool. Hey, someone's having it large. So we're going east from New York. What's all this? Does it tell you airports? I think so. They might be on the map there. LACR at Liedtke. I don't know what it is. I'm just letting us fly east. Surely I'm going east, aren't I? I'm going east. So, where's the chuffing Atlantic Ocean? Maybe they're right. Maybe the world is flat, and maybe I've got it all wrong because Flight Chuffing Simulator. My basics. And this is how I get lost in the world. Because I just said, don't worry, I'm in the plane. I'll get us home. And now we've been flying for like hours. Well, you know, however long we've been flying. We've been flying for a while. And I've got us lost. I have no concept of where we are. Like in my brain. I could see down there, there's the ground. But in my brain, I'm like, well, I went east from Central Park, so I should be in this should be the Atlantic Ocean. So if I have to get us back, I'll go somewhere else. That's the problem. I don't think I'll turn around and go straight back. I think I'll get us on another slightly different course and then we're well lost, so I don't know where to go. I'm going to go to Keep M and see what that is. Little thing in the distance there. It all looks lovely. I mean, look at this. Imagine living here. Great big houses, I'm guessing. They're not like tall, like mansion, tall, high, like castles, but great big houses in amongst all this. I think that's a golf course. This must be a golf course. This is where the rich people live, out by the golf course. Maybe. 4. Psh, ah! Someone hit a golf ball on my plane. It's not relaxing, is it? Trying to do a chill stream. You just, you know, I just want you to close your eyes and count to 10. Just imagine you're flying over New York. Oh, someone hit a golf ball in your plane. Now we're locked in a death spiral. Quick, you better bail out. Oh no, your parachute's come undone. Don't worry, 1 in 1,000 parachutes will fail. That's why you pack a spare. Where's your spare? 3, 2, 1, you're back in the room. Don't worry. None of that ever happened. It's much more relaxing to realise that you're not flying over New York, because what is this? Well, that's a lovely house. Look at that one. Donald Trump lives there. He's got a swimming pool. And this one. Oh, they look nice, don't they? I'd love to live out in the woods like this. It's not like the woods, but they've planted so many trees, it just feels like the woods. Or maybe it is the woods, I don't know. It's weird to me, because in England you've either got the woods or the buildings, but you don't have this like peppered, like there's buildings everywhere. These are people's houses, and I bet this is their land, isn't it? I bet like one of these big squares is like someone's plot of land. I'd be there walking my dog, they'd be like, get off my land, you chuffer. As far as I'm concerned, have I got enough fuel? We've got infinite fuel. Infinite fuel on this mode. So, I think Jersey's getting stored. Are we going across? Where are we? That's the only thing I can't get in my head. I've got the little map above my head here. I thought I went east from Central Park. Where the chuff am I? Is this New Jersey? Is this where Tony Soprano lives? Is that what it is? Is that the sea over there? Looks more like the sea over there than over here, doesn't it? But this is lovely. I wouldn't mind that. Because you've still kind of got neighbours, haven't you? You know, people who live nearby. I suppose they don't want to be bothered. You wouldn't go knocking on their door, like, with the charity collection tin, would you? And it is a bit of a chuffing drive to get anywhere. But why would you want to go anywhere if you lived in a great big house and we've got a swimming pool? Living in the woods. In the woods, mind, look. Who's managing all this ground, all this land? Are the bears? Are the bears? Have we got any? Do you think, are there any? It's New York. There probably aren't bears, are there? You could have loads of animals. Let them just run riot. Well, that wouldn't be good, would it? That would be... Okay, so here's the water. I don't know where we are. It's close to New York, though. It's only a little plane ride from New York, so... Whose house is this? Look. This is a nice one, look. They've got their own sort of private... Oh, no, don't death spiral, don't death spiral! They've got their own private little beach sort of thing. They're up on the hill there. I've just gone over it quick, sorry. Sorry. Just had to go over it quick, but that was a nice house, wasn't it? But these are like mansions. Look at that one. That one's like a mansion. They've got a turning circle for their cars. Out on this little landmass. But then again, it's really expensive to live actually in New York City as well, isn't it? So I wonder if this is cheaper out here. Or if this is where the expensive... I'll have to have a look on the estate agents. I wonder if you have to worry about having a gun. Is it set to real time? No, this is real time, yeah. So we're going to do real time while we do these little city trips. This is real time flying around America. I wonder if you have... This is the baseball field? No, the American football field? I haven't got much of a team there. But it's nice though, out by the water. There's a little community, look. Out by the water. So if we found the Atlantic Ocean now, we must have done. Don't look like it, does it? Whoa, 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 airplane, airplane, airplane. You steady yourself. Do you know, Muhammad Ali and a couple of other boxers, I think Joe Louis was one of them, can't remember exactly who, but they were by the seaside, and Muhammad Ali said, let's go for a swim, let's have a swimming competition. And like, Muhammad Ali is one of my heroes, one of my icons. So this is your captain speaking. I'm going to tell you a story about Muhammad Ali going for a swim. So Muhammad Ali and some other boxing champions of their ilk and day went out for a swim. He was in the ocean, and he said, keep going, keep swimming out. And they kept swimming, and one of them was like, oh, chuff this, you know, if I keep swimming, I'm not going to be able to swim back. I'm tired, I'll swim back now. Muhammad Ali kept swimming, and the other one, I think the other one might have been, is it Sonny Liston or Joe Louis, one of his peers. And like, Muhammad Ali just kept swimming out. He wouldn't, it was like a chicken situation. I'm not suggesting you do this, you'll probably end up dead. It sounds like a right loophead thing to do. But he just kept swimming out, like proving to them, you know, proving to all the others, I don't care what it takes, I'll go that extra mile, sort of thing. Yeah, that's a little story about Muhammad Ali, your captain speaking. So yeah, that must be out to the ocean now, yeah, that's got to be. I'm going to turn us round. And from here, if I go west, I should be able to find New York. Because I just come from there. Let's see if I can do that. Or if I've got us. Look, it's got my navigation points on ahead of us. That must be it. Let's see if I do that or if I get us lost. End up in Canada. It's a bit of a shame we have got infinite, you know, the infinite fuel thing is, that doesn't look like the ocean. Alright. Where is it then? I mean, it's this big water. That's big.
500.
I ain't seen much bigger water around here than that, so I'm calling that the Atlantic Ocean. Don't know what Ren and Zalat are. They're right coming beneath us in a minute. Are they other players? They are the flyers. There might be other flyers, Ren and Zalat. This isn't players. Listen, this isn't playing. This isn't a game. This is a very serious grown-up flight simulator, I'll have you know. It's a very serious matter. When I was a kid, my friend Andrew Dupalaki, his dad had a computer. I don't know if you'll remember this, but his dad had a computer. We used to play on this computer, and he had a few games. He had a few games we understood, like Karate Kid, and he had this one game. This is your captain speaking. I'm going to tell you a story about a computer game when I was a kid, and it was a simulator for a what was it simulator? It was like a naval. You like flew a naval warship, and you could launch torpedoes and stuff. So you're out on the sea basically, and you simulate. It's like one of these sort of things, though. One of these jobs with all the complexity. Don't press the wrong button, or you might crash it. One of these jobs. So we used to play that. We used to get it up on the computer, and we used to try and work out what the chuff was going on, and we could never really work it out. But it was really interesting and really like, it was like, wow, the computer can do this. And it was only really polygons, and you know, now look what we're doing. Look what we're doing. Flying over real-time weather event. I don't know if it is real-time, but the game offers real-time weather event. Alright, co-pilot, I'm alright. I'm going to fly us to New York, look. That's that LaGuardia, we've seen that before. Where the chuff am I going then? I've got us off course somehow. Where's the Empire State Building? So, now, with the computers now, I can get my virtual reality headset. It's in the other room. I'll get it and I'll show you. We'll do a stream one day. I'll get it rigged up with this, and I can just be chuffing. Like, it's incredible, isn't it? And when I was a kid, I thought, I wanted an arcade machine in my room, in my bedroom, an arcade machine. That's what I wanted. I wanted the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4-player arcade machine in my bedroom. That's just come out on the Nintendo Switch. That game. Like a remaster. And I haven't got an arcade machine now. I've got a chuffing entire world. It's New York. Hello, New York. Don't throw your apple out the windows. Like, if you're having a banana, this is your captain speaking. If you're having a banana, please don't throw it out the windows. What's that? Is that the rain on the windows? Look, it's the rain on the windows. There aren't any window wipers. They probably don't need them because we're going fast in the air. I just thought. But where are the window wipers? Look. What if it gets bad? You have to reach out and give it a clean like my old car. Did you have one of those cars where you used to think it was condensation on the inside or ice on the outside, and it was neither, it would just never go away. Here we are, flying over. This is Captain speaking. If you are eating a banana, now's the time to throw it out the window, because the fish love that. Now's the time to throw it out the window. But those people in the nice houses, they don't want your banana on their roof. Someone might slip on it and fall off the roof, and then where would it be? Proper rod hold then, wouldn't we? LaGuardia's on the northwest corner of Long Island. Northwest, hang on. So I want to go southeast, over there. Kennedy International, I don't know. How do I know? I've got no idea. That looks like the golf course we flew over though. That's how I'd have to do it. I wouldn't be able to work these maps, your GPS. I'd have to look out the window. This is how I would actually have to do it in real life. I'd have to look out the window and say, that looks like the golf course we flew over. This is how I get lost. Because some things look like other things, and you think, I'll follow this road and it'll get me up there. But the roads just slightly turn, you don't notice they're curving. Before you know it, you're in Watford Gap when you should have been at Banbury Cross. This is New York though. This is, for our tourists on board, if you'd like to look out your window now, for our tourists on board, that's the Empire State Building down there. It's a lot smaller than... On the other side, you'll see the Statue of Liberty. She's a lot smaller than you'd imagine. She's gone by there. It's not a baseball field, it's the Statue of Liberty. She's been taken down for cleaning. So, for all our tourists on board. Where's that? Where's the Statue of Liberty? I thought that was on the water, by the sea. That's what I got the impression from the telly. Kennedy International, LaGuardia. I'm going to go in with... What's that over there? I don't know if I'm going the right way at all. But they must have the airport near the city, mustn't they? And when I cotton on where the city is, when I see it on the horizon, I'll go near it. I think it's over there. So where's the Empire... Where's the Statue of Liberty? And Morris, right, exactly. I had a Rover Metro. I had a Rover Metro. And this is Long Island Sound. There you go, Long Island, which was created by dumping rubbish and blowing it up with nuclear waste. Wasn't it created by dumping rubbish and blowing it up with nuclear waste? I don't know. Oh look, there's an actual that must be an actual stadium for a... Or is it just a... It hasn't got any seats round it. That's not a real soccer... That's not a real football stadium, it's just for rubbish. Atmosphere School. They haven't got any fans though, they've got no seats. Yeah, I had a car, a Rover Metro, and when I got it Metro, right, when I got it on the airplanes, can't get my words out. When I got it on the, this is your captain speaking. I'm going to tell you a story about how when I got my car up to 100 miles an hour, which I obviously didn't do because it would be really dangerous, and you wouldn't do it, and the police would come and do you for dangerous driving. But it was over 20 years ago, so statute of limitations. So my car would cut out if it went over above a certain number of miles an hour, which I may or may not have mentioned earlier. And it would do it on the... This is your captain speaking, I'm going to carry on my story. It would do it over the motorway. On the motorway. Like, you'd be on the motorway, and suddenly, all... When I say cut out, the lights would go off, the engine would cease, and you'd just be running on, like... I'd put my foot down on the clutch so that I'd be running. Because, like, I don't know if it was the most sensible thing to do. And then I'd be hammering the key, trying to start it. But we're travelling at a very high speed while I'm doing that key, so... And then it would start, and then I'd be like, oh, thank God for that. I only do it when I was going fast, at the most dangerous time. So I had to refrain from going too fast. Now, as I was only young. You do foolish things when you're young. New York harbours the Statue of Liberty. Well, isn't that this? I mean, this is New York, surely, and there's only... How much water can there be? I'm so confused about the state of New York. Not just... I don't mean the state, you know, like Washington DC is a state. I don't... In England, when you say it's a state, you don't have that connotation to the United States. So a state means it's, well, rubbish. Oh, you're looking alright state today. Have you not done your makeup? What have you rubbed on your face there? You're looking alright state today. Why is all your hair sticking up? You know, a state. Like, a mess. So, what I said then was, I'm a bit surprised about the landscape and layout of the state of it, you know. What's going on here? What's the state of the situation here? Like, that sort of state. I'm a bit surprised. I didn't know there's all this stuff here. Like, these little... This is all houses and residential, I'm guessing, again. I don't know. It might be shops. But it's all packed in on this other bit of land here. Right to the edge. Packed in right to the edge. Here we go, look. That's LaGuardia, so... I don't know. The Statue of Liberty's got to be around here somewhere. Look, there's the city over there. Doesn't she guard it? Isn't she guarding it? In all the films... In all the films, I imagine, there's the city, right? There's the sea right next to it. And then the Statue of Liberty is just between the two. That's all the films, that's what I imagine. I don't imagine all this. What's all this? Look like prison buildings down there. Or maybe it's a university, I don't know. They look like prison buildings, those crossways ones. Right, here's the river then. This has got to be right, hasn't it? There's New York over there. New York, concrete jungle. Why have they done that, the cheeky buggers? The real song is New York, New York. I want to wake up in a city that never sleeps. That's the real song. New York, New York. But for a new generation who think that's old hat, and it's old hat, it's a new generation now. Why don't we write some other songs with New York in the title, and they can be the New York songs for the new generation? Oh, I see. Concrete jungle where dreams are made up. You've just... What about the old song? No, forget that one. The new generation don't like that. They like this new song. It's got New York in the title, though. I am Brooklyn. I'm a coming emblem. I'm a coming emblem. That one. Like... there's water everywhere here. I could just chuffing. It is, isn't it? Which is really weird to me. I'm surprised about the amount of water going on here. This is New York. And there's a lot of tower blocks as well. I'm surprised about that. They're like, they must be residential tower blocks, but I'm surprised about them. Like in the UK, as you approach a city, you don't get this much urbanisation in that way. I get, like, there's so much... We should go and fly over Birmingham and have a different perspective on a city, but this is like something else, isn't it? Look, we're already into the skyscrapers. You probably don't call them that, but I do. I don't care. These are skyscrapers. We're already into that. We're not even in the main bit of the city, and there's just chuffing loads of them. Look. Oh, we are in the city now. That's central. So we are in the city. We're in actual New York now. So no wonder there's loads of them. This is it. This is the chuffing state of it. All packed in like that. Let's go over to Madison Square Garden, the Mecca of boxing they call it. Well, I mean that's a bit rude to use a religious... It's a bit rude, isn't it? Just big stadium for boxing though. We're going to head over there. Look at it, New York. So the old song was the better one, and they did that with another song as well. They took the lyric, Oasis did, didn't they? Stand by me, nobody knows how it's gonna be. Yeah, Stand By Me, that was fucking John Lennon, mate. Stand By Me. Now you've got 2 songs with the same name and one for the new generation. Chuff off. John Lennon did Stand By Me. You have to think of a new one. There's H&M, look, on that building. It says it, H&M. This must be the chuffing proper New York. I've misplaced Madison Square Garden. I can't see it anymore. This is your captain speaking. I can't see Madison Square Garden anymore, so I'm just going to bank us round, and we're not going to go into a death spiral, I promise. But just look out the window. Look. Ooh. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Right. Madison Square Garden's down there somewhere. So have a look at that, you chuffer. I mean, I'm really actually impressed. At my end, I've got the effect on the window reflect. That's it. That's Madison Square Garden. It only looks small compared to the rest, doesn't it? Thought it'd be bigger. Brooklyn Bridge is coming up. Let's have a look at that. This is your captain speaking. The Governor's Island. I didn't know there was somewhere called the Governor's Island. There's somewhere called the Governor's Island. You felt You've been there. You felt overwhelmed by the tall buildings. I've never been, and I would consider it, but I'd have to go. I don't know if it's one of those states where weed is legal, so I'd consider it. But yeah, all this, I would feel like one of the issues is I can't just go. The only thing you've got is Central Park and this little bit of strip of land here. But I'd be scared to hang out there. But you can't just go and get away from it easy, can you? Maybe this is where the sea is. Look. What's going on over here? Bridges. Brooklyn Bridge. Ladies and gentlemen, the world famous Brooklyn Bridge. I've got no idea. It's one of these two. Warning. Hey, chuff off. No, my bandwidth is massive. I pay Virgin Media through the nose for that, you chuffer. There it is. That's Brooklyn Bridge. So... enjoy that. It's just chuffing bridge. There it is. So, oh, look at this. This is New York like I imagine it. Right up to the sea. Massive skyscrapers. Please don't kill us on the buildings. Please don't kill us on the buildings. Please don't. Oh, that was close. Come on now, pilot. Pilot, 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 pilot. Ooh. Thought that was going to be another 9/11 then. Don't joke about that. So the Statue of Liberty, she's got to be around here somewhere on one of these like islands or some shit. Look how tall those buildings are. Yeah, I wouldn't want to go up in that.
500.
Like, if you want to go out for a cigarette, what are you going to do? You'd have to go down in the lift, I suppose. But it takes ages. I wouldn't want to go up the top of that. And like I said, I used to be a roofer, and I've been on roofs. That was the financial district. I'd have to be over here. That's where I'd have to be. Ellis Island. Is that a prison, Ellis Island? Is that a prison? That sounds... This is where I'd like to be, over here. Immediately after seeing all that urbanisation, this feels so much more comfortable to me. But with so many people living close by, I bet there's absolutely chuff loads of people walking their dogs over here, aren't there? There she is, the Statue of Liberty. Right, Ellis Island is the prison, I'm guessing. Is it? Or is it, am I just making that up? Let's have a look at Ellis Island, and then we'll go and have a look at Statue of Liberty. Look at this. Are they houses? Is that some sort of factory? I'm not educated enough about what goes on Ellis Island, but that's it. I thought it might be a prison. Weird. I think they built that out of, like, just rubbish. Honest, like, just rubbish. I think they just, like, landfilled that in. It's not a prison. Great. This is your captain speaking. You might want to disregard some of the tour guide's information. The tour guide doesn't have all the perfect... What the tour guide should have done is looked on the internet before we did this chuffing stream so that he had all the details. But no... No, tour guide might take us into a death spiral near the Statue of Liberty. Be careful. Just, the tour guide don't know everything. There she is, look. There she is. We're going to go past real quick. Yeah, she don't look as big as I thought she was. I mean, I thought she was reasonably that size, but compared to the rest of New York, she's only a tidger, isn't she? She's only a little smidge. Oh, there's someone on a boat. And then there's the sea, is it? No. What's this? This is well confusing to me. I thought, look, she's surrounded by land. Every direction is land. I thought you get the Statue of Liberty and then you get the sea. So I still haven't managed to locate the sea. This isn't the sea, apparently. Is she? This isn't the sea. This is just like some massive inlet lake. I mean, look at the amount of water. And there it is. Look, that's New York. That's the Statue of... I imagine you come in here and behind you is the sea. But no. I don't know what's up there. I'm not going up there. This is what I'm imagining, though. You come here into New York, like in the films. And there she is, guarding New York. She needs to be 5 times larger. Because in the films, my sense of perspective, she's massive. 5 or 10 times larger. She needs to be up about... Look, I'll tell you how high. She needs to come up a bit. They need to redo the Statue of Liberty, that's what I reckon, to at least this height. Where am I now? 500?
Stall.
Are we doing feet or meters? Store, alright. There she is, look. They need to bring that up. And then over here, as you come in, there's definitely not a prison. It's not a prison. Why would you put a prison there? It's not a prison, but... go to a Yankees game, right? I've got no idea where they are. They're not on that island, though, I can tell you that. But you come to New York, this is what I imagine, is you come this way. Shit. This is your captain speaking. If you feel like we're shaking ourselves into a death spiral, now might be the time to fasten your seatbelts. I perceive this as being New York, yeah? And what I think will happen is you'll get giant towers. One of them will be the Statue of Liberty. Nice big chuffer. And it will go on like that. Big old, ooh, big towers and that. And then it'll peter out. And then it'll, after it's petered out a bit, there'll be the rest of America like a big desert. Look at these. Ooh, there ain't half some money in there. Look at them. And I don't know which bit's the expensive bit. I mean, surely this is the most expensive bit, isn't it? If you want to get yourself... No. They pay a lot of money for those houses. If you want to get yourself a nice flat in New York, and you've got one of them at the top of that, you're well in. They like the top ones, don't they? They all like the top ones. I don't know why.
500.
More dangerous, in my opinion. Harder to go for a cigarette, but look, we can't crash over the sea, can we? So I imagine it's all that, and it is. Can you not straighten the plane up, you chuffer? What's going on? This fight... Right. It is all that. And then it... peters out. If I can just fly towards the rest of America. No, it keeps going, look. It doesn't peter out. This is what has got my brain baffled. There's loads of it. Madison Square Garden. We haven't even got to Madison Square Garden yet. I'd imagine Central Park comes about now, but it doesn't. That's a stadium of some description.
500.
This little plane's not that agile though.
500.
This is your captain speaking. If you'd like to go to the Yankees game, that's a soccer stadium. What a naff little soccer stadium. I bet that's the best American soccer stadium they've got. They don't know about football, real football in America. Manhattan is really expensive. I'd have thought so, yeah. And then, but like, what's going on? There's like a gap, and then there's Madison Square Garden, the Chrysler Building. It gets more expensive again. And then we saw those mansions out of town, didn't we? I'd have thought they would be expensive. So maybe it's all chuffing expensive. I don't know. But like, there's a gap between the skyscrapers there. There's the ones up by the water. Then it gets a little less tightly packed, a little less like towering. But then it goes more again, doesn't it? Look. As soon as you hit Madden, you're back into it. That's the Empire State Building there. right in it, right in amongst it. We haven't even hit Central Park yet, and you imagine Central Park being near the middle. This is your captain speaking. I imagine Central Park's near the middle, but don't quote me on that because I haven't even looked on the Wikipedia before we come flying over the chuffer. It's supposed to be relaxing. Eventually, we might get to one of those streams where it's relaxing. But for now, I'm like surprised and shocked and a little bit on edge, trying to stop us from falling into a death spiral. We're back on. Are we back on? We're running. We're back on and running. I haven't crashed the plane.
500.
Kilobytes. What happens is, for some reason, I'm losing internet signal. I don't know why or how, but we're still rolling. So what's going to happen is, I'm going to turn this off relatively soon and try and fix that problem. But for now, we're just going to cruise. And if it crashes, you'll know why. It won't be the plane, it'll be the damn internet. Chuffing hell, how's that? Oh, we're right up. 8,000 kilobytes now. I've never had so many kilobytes. 10,000. I literally have never had so many kilobytes as it told me I've got then. Oh, I crashed. What? I was looking up at the chat and the kilobytes, mate. Crashed. Did I crash? Oh yeah, look, I let us just drift into the trees. Oh. No, it was the internet. It was my stream crashed. Low res. Yeah, something's going on with it. I don't know why. Maybe we've been on for too long. I don't know what the situation is. But, no, we've not been on too long, have we? I don't know why it's doing that. That is 100% Virgin Media and their signal. Because usually you wouldn't notice something like that. But because it's back up now, it seems. Usually you wouldn't notice something like that. But because we're live streaming and it's, 100% going live down the wire, if they interrupt the signal for just like a second, it like cuts your live stream off and says, whoa, no, chuff it. Now we're back up and running. Maybe the chuffing, I don't know, man. Maybe the hamster fell off the wheel. Maybe the hamster fell off the wheel. So that was at New York. We've had a right good look around New York. I'll let you decide in chat. What do you want? Mount Everest, Bora Bora, Naples, or Rio De Janeiro with Christ the Redeemer. Christ the Redeemer. I'll let you choose in chat. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? And this, I'll try and do something about this upbeat music in the background. I'll leave it. I'll just leave the music. Where do you want to go? World Trade Center. That's gone now, hasn't it? So can't go there. I don't know exactly where it is. We'll go Big Jesus then. Here we go then. Rio de Janeiro. Rio de Janeiro. If you're from England and you're from the West Midlands, you say Rio de Janeiro. Rio de Janeiro. We'll have a look at Rio de Janeiro. We're in a different aeroplane now. We've been given the Texatron Aviation Beechcraft. I don't know what that is. I hope it's easy to fucking well steer. I hope it's fucking well easy to steer. Sorry, Joe. We're in chuffing. We can go to Niagara Falls some other time. We've got the whole world to explore, and we will be exploring it in this chuffing game as part of our regular rolling, changeable content. It won't always be this. It won't always be this. This is supposed to be night times and evenings for chill out. If I can just make it nice and chilled. Oh, which you can't seem to bloody do. And the irony is, I used to be an ASMR artist. I was making the most chilled out videos on the internet. But what I'd quite like to do, for Limmy, right? Limmy's got his little headphones in. And he knows his missus is asleep in the other room. He knows his son is asleep in the other room. He talks quietly. But me, I've got my big headphones on. They're blocking out all the other sound. I can't hear the sound of my own voice. So I'm talking loud. And I'm supposed to be doing a chill stream, cruising around in the aeroplane, nice and chilled. You could put it on, you could go to sleep, nice and relaxing, chilled stream. And I fucking can't. All I can do is fucking chuff and yell and chuff. Crash the aeroplane. I can't manage it. Right, we will go as well. We'll go to the Philippines. We'll go all these places. But in time, in good time. Today, this is your captain speaking. And we're going to be flying past the chuffing Christ the Redeemer. And there's other Jesuses in the world that we had to look at on stream. There's other Jesuses in the world. There's another Christ the Redeemer. I think there's another Christ in Brazil that's like this. They put it in somewhere else. Competitive competition Jesus. Who's got the best Jesus competition? And it'll look nice, this will. Look, here we go. I'm hoping it's going to look nice. I'm ready to fly. Right, here we go. Christ the Redeemer, off in the distance. This is perfect. This is the rainforest, just like I imagine it. That's Brazil, just like I imagine it. And then built into it, as you get close to the seaside, I'm going to see favelas. There they are, there's the favelas. Right, we're going to go and have a look at favelas first. Christ can wait. Jesus, this is your captain speaking. Jesus has been there forever and he'll be there forever, so he can bloody wait. These favelas, on the other hand, I don't know how long they're going to last. So we'll have a look at them. Look at this. This is just little houses, built on little houses, all no planning permission and all that shit. Just built and built and built, isn't they call it the favelas? I think I got that right. I might be wrong. This might, hang on, death spiral. No. This is your captain speaking. Once again, we're going to have to fasten your seatbelts. I don't know if it is the favelas. I mean, it might be the favelas. I've not been. This is your captain speaking. I've got some friends in Brazil that made a computer game in that project that I went to film, the Stugan project. You can see that film on our channel. Indie film about indie dev, like the demo. And this is your captain speaking. There's Jesus over there. And these lads that made this one game that was on the chuffing... Where's the city? Is this the city? It's so much smaller than New York, isn't it? Look. Rio De Janeiro. Must be down there, over there. So much smaller than New York. Look at it. Where's all the cities? Where's all the stuff? Puts things into perspective, doesn't it? Thought this was one of these places with like loads of people. But yeah, my mates Joe and Lucas, they live there somewhere, I think. Oh, the sun, you like the sun, look, yeah. Setting sun, the nice lens flare. This is what it's like to fly around completely safely from the comfort of your own living room. You can see why they put Jesus up here, can't you? This makes sense. That'd be good for a dog walk as well, wouldn't it? Look at that. Well, there might be dangerous animals, I don't know. There's Jesus in the sun. Can't quite get him in the frame without crashing the plane. Sorry. This is your captain speaking. I'm trying to get us a good look at Jesus. He's over there. I'm trying to get us a good look at him. And this is the rest. No, this is what I imagined. Look, there it is. I thought it was... I thought it was small. It's not small. It's just over there. That's more like it, isn't it? Look, great big city. Yes, millions of people. Favelas on the hillside. I think. I don't know. I mean, I've only seen them in Call of Duty and on the telly, but... Look at it. Rio De Janeiro. Rio De Janeiro. Samba beat. Get down to that samba beat. Move your dancing feet. Get down to that samba beat.
500.
It's Rio De Janeiro. Make you go Coco Loco. Oh no, that's Spanish. They don't do Spanish, they do Portuguese. I'll have you know. So it's Rio De Janeiro, ladies and gentlemen. The famous city of, what's it, I don't know what it's called. City of Jesus, probably. It's City of Giant Jesus. Here's the big train station. I think. Don't really know. Looks like a rail station though. That does.
500.
That's a different game.
500.
Or is it something else? I don't know. Railway Simulator's a different game though, look. Here we are. Sun in the sky. Metropolitan Cathedral to Rio de Janeiro. Just up ahead. Look at these. Big buildings now, big skyscrapers. Less character than New York, but you've got the big cathedral there. That looks nice. It's like a top of a rocket.
500.
Could put Jesus on that, but no. No. Where's he gone? I've lost him. That's Sugarlive Mountain over there. That's famous. There he is. He's up there, Christ the Redeemer. Right. We'll go Sugarlive Mountain, then we'll go up to Christ the Redeemer. Look at this. Sun going down over the sea. Much like New York, there's a lot of sea close by.
500.
Your dog would want to go where there's lots of sheep, yeah. I don't know if there's lots of sheep around here, though. I wonder if the jaguars eat them. I wonder if the jaguars eat the dogs. Sugarlive Mountain. I've heard of it. I thought it was in South Africa, to be honest. Thought there was one in South Africa. I might have had that wrong. And now you think, why is it called... Now, sugar loaves aren't like loaves of bread. They're not like loaves of bread. Sugar loaves used to look like big teardrops. And they'd snip the sugar off the top with a pair of snips. That's true. Looks lovely in the sun, doesn't it? Little plane of ours. You wouldn't get me up in one of these. I'd worry. It's very little, isn't it? Very little. If anything happens in this plane, what's going to happen? I have to swim for it. I'd have to swim for it. There'd be sharks. But in principle, it's quite nice. Like, if it wasn't going to crash, if I wasn't driving it, it wasn't going to crash. There we go, Sugarlive Mountain. I'm very tempted to try and fly above it. But you'd be surprised how easy it is to fuck this up. And when I say you'd be surprised, I mean I'm fucking it up right now, I think. Oh, look at it. No, I'm making it. Look at that. That's where you go walking. No. Captain. Should have gone and had a look at Jesus. Parked us on top of Sugarloaf Mountain now. We're in the trees now. That wasn't a terrible landing. We came down fairly... I stopped doing my accent. Why can't I stop doing my accent? It's because it's... I'll tell you what, when I was a kid, my parents talked like that, and so did the people around me. So, when I was a kid, I did actually speak like this. I learned to speak a bit like that with the accent, and then they were like, oh, you're speaking with a Brummagem accent, you. Stop it. I went to school in a little village. No one else was speaking like that. So, it's just in me. It's just in me, though. When I start it, I can't remember to stop it. It's not like I have to stop it. This is how I normally talk. It's like the other voice, the Cornish voice I do. When I go in that for too long, can't get out of it. I collided with an object. So, I collided with an object. It's not ideal, is it? To have collided with an object. I'll do somewhere we can't. I'm choosing Bora, and then this might be the last one for a bit because I want to go and make some dinner. We'll go have a look at Bora. I've got no idea what this is or where it is, to be honest. I'm revealing my ignorance. I'm not good at geography. But you get a much better impression of things seeing them like this, don't you? So, Bora is one of those places, in my opinion, that I've heard of, like, when people are like, oh, we're going to go on, like, super posh... Am I dead? No, none of us are dead. We managed to make it through that one. Now we're at Bora. I landed us gently in the trees, don't worry. Bora, I reckon, sounds like the place where people say they go on, like, a really posh holiday. Like the Seychelles or something. Giant fly just flew past me then. Great big actual fly. A giant fly come in here, had a like buzz, flew in, had a look at this and thought, boring. She's flying around. I'm doing that all the time. Flew off. Wasn't interested.
500.
But for us humans, this is like well out of the ordinary. Well, what's this? It's the sand, and then there's trees, but there doesn't appear to be enough land. How have they managed? This land looks like it would just drift into the sea, won't it? That's an airstrip. Someone's built an airstrip on that. But it looks like, give it a few years, and that'll just be in the sea. Washed away. I don't know. This must be a volcanic island, mustn't it? And if it's a volcanic island and I'm right out in the sea, I'm guessing we're South Pacific. Mount Otumanu. I've got no idea where this is. Near Tahiti, South Pacific. Right, it is South Pacific near Tahiti. Tahiti, I've heard of that as well. But it sounds a bit like a cocktail, doesn't it? That's what when I think of a Tahiti, I think of a cocktail. Or one of those Moroccan, you know, you have your Moroccan curry. Tagine, that's what I'm thinking of, tagine. This is French Polynesia. There you go. Don't look very French to me. Looks much more Polynesian to me. So you'd live in one of these little houses, right? Right down by the sea. They've got a ring road around the island by the sea. And you'd live in one of these little houses. I don't know where you get your shopping from. Amazon aren't coming. And then you just walk your dog in these woods. Look at it. I wonder if they've got animals like... What? I wonder if they've got dangerous animals. Water landing. I've got gear, water landing gear.
500. Here's up for water landing.
The AI had to come in then because I nearly crashed us. Let's go and have a look at the mountain.
Here's up for water landing.
So it's got a big solid...
Here's up for water landing.
Why does it keep saying that about water landing?
Stall.
I've put the landing gear down now. I don't want to do that. Retract the landing gear, please. Okay, I'll put it out.
Stall.
Oh no. Wouldn't fill you full of confidence, would it, if you heard the pilot going on about the landing gear like that?
Stall.
This ain't going to go well. We're not going to make it up this mountain, are we?
Here's up for water landing.
What am I going to do? How do you pull out of this?
Here's up for water landing. Stall.
I haven't got much choice there, have I? I think I did... Oh, that did go really bad. Jesus. It's not easy, is it? Actual flying. It's not easy. French Polynesia, I thought we couldn't crash there. I thought we'd be alright with that, but no. Go back to Jesus. Let's try and have another look at Jesus. Thought I couldn't kill us there. Jesus. You need to land on the water. Yeah, well, I wouldn't want to, though, I'll tell you that. Crash landing on the water, I think it'd be the worst thing in the world. Because you'd have to get out the chuffing plane. And then that'd just be you in the middle of the water. That'd be one of the worst for me. That's like one of my nightmares. As much as I love the sea, and I love viewing the sea from land, being in the middle of it, oh, no one would be able to find you. You'd have to float on your back and just hope, wouldn't you? That'd just be the worst. I wouldn't be very good at floating. I imagine I'd probably start to sink. And even if I managed to sort that out, I then imagine that the sharks would start coming. And it's so scary on the sea. We'll go and fly out over the open ocean in a minute. But it's so scary on the sea because it's just like... you don't know what's down there. Like this. What's remarkable about this is that our world is covered by the atmosphere, isn't it? And at the very peak of the atmosphere is space. But the atmosphere itself is a bit like an ocean of sorts. You know, there's air and air pressure, and we are flying through it in the same way a stingray might fly through the ocean. Like there's resistance and pressure in the ocean, isn't there? And the fish and all the creatures move through it by, you know, manipulating that. So this, you can't see it, but the atmosphere is a bit like it's a bit like that, isn't it? And we're carving our way through that pressure and air, all those molecules of oxygen and what have you with this airplane. That's how we're able to fly. But I don't like, you know, in this version of it, you go up in the air, you can see where the ground is, you know what's going on. But if you're in the open ocean, you're floating on top. All the sharks and everything, they know what's going on, they're underneath. You're just bobbing on top. Can't see any of it. You don't see any of that down there. Bobbing around on top. And God help you if like the sharks come. So I don't like it. It's scary. Right. Can I get us up to Jesus? Surely. Why haven't they not started us just flying? So you just fly up to Jesus. Surely they're not going to... Right. Taking the engine down. Lowering the engine speed to dangerous levels so that we can go and have a good look at Jesus. Now this game has been, you know, sold on its beauty and charm, hasn't it? And this is one of the main ones they want us to come and look at, so this should look good. Again, it's not as big as I thought it would be, but maybe that's just my perspective from here. Right up on these rocks though, there he is.
500.
There he is. Whee! Hello Jesus, he's got his arms out like an aeroplane. And he's looking down over this, but I thought he'd be a lot bigger, in a way. I mean, I know exactly how big he is because we did that stream about it, but I thought he'd be bigger in a way because when you're down here, I thought you'd be able to see his face. But look, he's already like a little blip in the distance, isn't he? Thought when you're down here in Rioville or whatever this bit is, thought you'd be able to look up at Jesus and see his face, but you couldn't really, could you? Look, you just know he's up there. It's a bit like the real Jesus. You can't look up and see his face, but you just know he's up there. There's the sun setting. And as we approach Sugarloaf Mountain from the other direction, this is your captain speaking. As we approach Sugarloaf Mountain from the other direction, you'll be able to spot the wreckage of our previous aircraft. This is your captain speaking. The jazzy music being provided in the background by Genshin Impact's soundtrack, and I can't be bothered to change it. But I was hoping for something more relaxing. That's nice, isn't it? Up Sugarloaf Mountain. I wonder if people go trekking up it. I suppose they must do, mustn't they? I'm surprised I haven't been able to see more football fields, and like you said about the Yankee Stadium, I thought those sort of things would be more visible, like football stadia and things like that. And Rio's got a football team, hasn't it? And where's all the Olympic stuff? They had Olympic stadia. It's like New York again though, look, you've got all the water and then there's more houses and everything packed in on this bit over here. Keeps warning me, doesn't it, about the... But I want to fly low. I want to fly low. That's the magic. That's the airport. There you go. You land in... I'm not going to try, but you land in Rio. Get off at the airport. Nice little inlet here. I don't know what that is. And then you get your bus. And your bus takes you into the city. And you're like, oh, hello. It's a lot more green than I thought it'd be. But here's all the tower blocks. There's the famous cathedral. Looks like the top of a rocket ship. And it just keeps going, look. It does, doesn't it? Wow. It's not as tall as New York, but there's still chuffing loads of it. And up there's the favelas in the hills.
500.
And this is still Rio. Rio Grande. I wrote a song called Rio, Ride Down Rio. Is that more favelas? They look higgledy-piggledy, that's why I want to call them favelas, but they might not be. They might just be little houses. And what's all this? Oh, that's that train station again. Like, this must be Rio Central train line interchange. And then you got more. Is it going to peter out into just like... No, it's never going to peter out. Look at it. There we go. That's a stadium. That must be one of the famous stadiums in Rio. Look, big circle. Big football pitch. It's the train line I'm following here, isn't it? The train tracks. People living at the top of the hills. That must be nice. Catching the evening sun. Alright, I know I'm flying at 500 feet, you chuffer.
500.
I don't know what that means. I'm at 600 feet. There's Rio, look at it. Land on the road. I could give it a go, but it tells us we crash quite often. I could give it a go, though. Hello, Napoleon Bonaparte. That sounds really weird to say. Hello, Napoleon. Like... Oh, there was an X Factor audition I need to show you. I'll have to figure it. I'll have to get it for another stream. I found an X Factor audition where someone that was clearly a vampire auditioned, and they didn't say, "Oh, you a million years old," but they were clearly a vampire. Look, flying low over Rio here. Still Rio though. Look, this is all just houses. That must be a little shops, flats, main thoroughfare, train station, train line, or. I think it's a train line and a road at the same going the same way. Still, there's loads of it over there as well. That's a stadium as well, I'm assuming, but maybe not rendered up. I think that's a famous stadium, but not rendered up, maybe. Don't know why that one wasn't rendered. Don't know why that one wasn't rendered, Del boy. It was Rodney. Pull up, Rodney. Pull up, Rodney. Supposed to be rendered in lustrous 4K, Rodney. Alright, boy, see. When it's carnival, yeah, exactly. I don't know which street they go down, but there must be a main street somewhere, because there's chuffing loads of them. One of them must be the main one. And they parade down there, don't they? They'll have a big whee. They're all into it. And in the favelas, they got their own kind of music. Got their own different vibe going. But chuffing hell, like if you lived at one end of this, I thought New York was big. I mean, I was having a laugh earlier when I thought that only that little pocket of it was it. Look at it. And what's so striking to me as well is you've got these mountains, people can't be arsed with it. Flat land is easier to build on, obviously, isn't it? So they just can't be arsed with those mountains, and that's why the favelas have ended up on there in other places. But it's just like these... Right. You don't have... You don't have... Like, you don't have parks in the same... Like, I'm not seeing these open... That's maybe a park there. You don't have as many parks, but what you do have is just, like, chuffing mountains. Are these houses? I'm thinking these are houses below us now. Packed in. So there must be some shops and restaurants and other things around. Slightly high-rise buildings, but not massive buildings. Tell you what I haven't seen as well. Maybe I've not flown over the... Alright, co-pilot, I'm enjoying myself, Choffer. I've not seen what I consider to be the mansions and the super rich yet, have I? What's this? This is another airport. I could land. I'm not gonna. You can chuff off. Lots of space around the airport. Look, you can go walking your dog on that. Don't. Much better off in these trees over here. Although there might be, like... Do they have bears in Brazil? They don't have bears, do they? They've got, like, jaguars. Pythons and shit. I don't know. Maybe pythons are not in the jungle. Are they in the jungle? They're in the Jungle Book. But, because... one of them's a python. So... But that might be the Indian jungle. Look, anyway, look. Look at it. Hasn't stopped yet.
500.
So if you live in Brazil and you live in Sao Paulo, or whatever this is, you can live at one end, and you can't, like in Birmingham, you might want to jump on a train, but you can pretty much walk from one end of the the suburban edge of the city. Not the full suburban edge, but, you know, city centre, you can walk across it. Wouldn't take you all as long as this. And if you live at one end, you're not saying to your mates who live at the other end, "Oh, I'll just walk down and meet you." You'd have to get a bus, wouldn't you? Look at it. What do you think? Is this what you expected from Sao Paulo, Brazil? And maybe I've flown slightly off course now. Maybe I'm not in downtown Sao Paulo anymore, but look at it. What's this one? Don't know what that building is. It's a chuffer of a building that is, though. Look. Big old building there, but look at this. It just isn't stopping. I've just picked a direction from downtown Sao Paulo, Christ the Redeemer, and I have just not stopped. At no point has there been any break in this full urbanisation. Residential, mainly residential, some industrial, but just full urbanisation. Not up skyscrapery like New York, but the only thing that changes is when they get these big hills and they just can't be asked to build on the hills. Which is weird, because in other cultures, they just build up on the hills, don't they? You've got cities on hills in America. But here they're like, no, fuck it, we'll just carry on over the hill. And they haven't even put a road over the chuffer.
500.
No, there's not even a road over the hill. You have to go round. That's so weird. To me. It's obviously not weird to them. Maybe they're the most sensible places to leave as nature reserves, because they're the hardest to build.
500.
To build on, and like, but in between, look, it's just this pockets of getting more green now. We're getting more green as we go. That's the rainforest out there, isn't it? But it continues. This is still, we still haven't finished our unbroken band of urbanisation. And this is one of the interesting things when you think about ecology and stuff, is it's great to have little parks and little pockets, but what's important as well is that these things are interconnected, so that the wildlife can move between, you know, so they can have their corridors of movement. In the UK it's a lot easier, it's a smaller place, but there is a project there was a local bloke, this is your captain speaking, I'm going to tell you a story about, there was a local bloke round my way called Felix Dennis, apparently a lovely chap. I never had the pleasure of meeting him, and he was a millionaire, and when he died he left his money to charity essentially, and they set up this foundation he bought a lot of land, and they set up this foundation to maintain a forest in a crossway strip across the UK, to maintain that forest, for it to not be urbanised. Right.
500.
This is your captain speaking. For it to not be urbanised, and for it to maintain that corridor of traffic for the nature. That's something that's happening, but it would be a lot more difficult to do it over here, I'm guessing. It's worth thinking about, isn't it? But look, that's where all the nature is. Over there, up in the hills. Up in them there hills. Over there, though, we still haven't stopped. Rio De Janeiro still hasn't stopped. We're getting some big old warehousey things there as well. Don't know what they're for. Factories maybe, but look at it. And this is where you come walking your dog. I'm absolutely astounded at the, like, sprawling, endless extent of it. Because in the West we tend to think of cities, and this is the West I suppose, isn't it? But you know what I mean, like America and the UK, in the English-speaking modern West. Yeah, it's sprawling, isn't it? Sprawling. Like, we tend to think of our cities as like having sort of city limits, built up central places, suburban outskirts, and then finishing. But this just will not stop. In every direction I look in, so as far as the eye can see, I'm seeing interconnected, I'm seeing some nature, some hills, but I'm seeing interconnected pockets of this everywhere, apart from up there in the hills. But And it's so, like, it's hilly, it's mountainous, but it's also very flat as well, isn't it? You can see right across it. Like, you get lost. I would be impossibly lost at this point if you wanted me to navigate on foot my way back to the start. I'd be impossibly lost. What's that over there? It's like a river up on a hill. Looks like a man-made. And look at all these houses. I'm presuming these are just like residential houses. They're packing them in. You don't have a garden.
500.
But they seem reasonably sized, I guess. I suppose you might not need a garden if you could just go up these hills. The hills of Rio De Janeiro. I don't even know if we like ended up in a different place, if it still counts as Rio, but it won't stop, will it? And you can see there's clearer patches there. Is that what? Is that what the air? Please don't crash. Please don't crash. Is that? Do you think what the rainforest looks like with those cleared out patches? I wonder. This is some man-made river thing, canal thing. No, 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 death spiral. Ooh.
500.
Like, you could legitimately get a plane instead of a taxi across Rio, couldn't you? Like, you'd still be on the chuffing bus. Going forever to get from one end to the other. Maybe Brazilian people have, you know... Hello, Lindsay. Yeah, we've got this rolling now, haven't we? Look. Although I'm going to take my dinner break in a minute, but... nice to see you. We're looking at... this is Rio de Janeiro, I think. Although we've been flying for some 10-15 minutes, and it has not stopped. This is what it's like in Brazil. They don't have as many skyscraper buildings, though, we saw. But look at all the houses packed in. I'm always interested, not that I could afford it, but I'm always interested to know, like, what a house costs. In any given place, you know. And the cost of living in such, but... I can't say I'd want to swap my quiet little rural English town for this endless urbanisation. It looks like this is being cleared for more urbanisation, doesn't it, here? But they don't seem to want to build on the hills. We're heading west as well. Never eat shredded wheat. So we're heading inland. Right, co-pilot. I'm enjoying myself. Chuffer. You chuffer. I swear it's starting to peter out now. But they won't let it, look. They won't let it peter out. This looks like ripe for new urbanisation, doesn't it? More houses here will be built. I'm not heading inland. Look, there's the sea. What's going on? How come I never get this right? Should we try a landing? I've never ever tried a landing at all. I haven't got any learnings on this, but I imagine you fly at the airport in a straight line, you slow the chuff down, and you put out your wheels. So I think I can do that. I just think I can do it. So this is top test. This is Scott. This is your captain speaking. I've never landed a plane. Not in this flight simulator. Not never. But I'm going to do it now, and. Hold on to your hats. If I do it, then it proves that I'm able... I can't even get round to the chuffing airport. The turning circle's a lot less... I haven't got the turning circle I wanted. I'm miles away. Right. But if I can do it, then it means that I'm a brilliant... That was us dead then. If I can do it, it means I'm a brilliant plane flyer. If I can't, then it means I'm an idiot, right? And I killed us all. But I did just kill us all then on the approach. But let's see if I can do it. Right, landing gear out. Landing gear out. Slowing us to chuff down. I'm going to hit it on a wonk, but I'm still going to hit it, so, you know, it counts. Where's the altimeter? I can't see the altimeter. I don't need it. I don't need it. Slowing us to chuff down. There you go, look! I didn't kill anyone. Slowing us to chuff down. Is there a brake? Brake. Slow us to chuff down. Brake. Brake, though. Slow us to... Oh, no! Okay, so you can still kill people after you've landed. So, you don't get a refund. You don't get a refund. If we all die in the plane crash, you don't get a refund. I thought I'd done well then. Thought I'd done well. Landed us. I mean, that was, you've got to say, that was a... I will have to let you know how it feels in VR. I'll bring the headset in. You had the headset set up with the old setup, and I've got to set it up with the new setup. What I'm hoping, one of the problems with the VR headset is that you have a latency delay. So I'm talking, but there's a delay. I have to mess around with the settings on the stream and change the delays so it all syncs up, and it's a right chuffer because you're in a virtual reality headset, so you can't look on your computer and mess about with it. What you really need is someone else sat at the computer just doing it. But long story short, I have to do a practice stream and then look at it and go, oh, that didn't work. Edit it, change it this way, and then do another stream and then look at it and go, oh, it was a bit better, but you know, that sort of thing. Or Nigel looks at our stream and can tell us when the timing's... He's like, this is out by this number of seconds. I'm like, fucking hell. I wish I could work that out with my brain. But like, for some reason, when I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's in front or it's behind, and it's by a certain number, and I can't. And then I try it in the edit, and it's like frames, and it's got two different settings on OBS for some reason. It's got like actual seconds, and it's got like fragments of a second. I don't know. But once I've got it in sync and it all works, you'll be able to be here on stream, and I'll be doing this with my headset, and you'll be seeing what I see on that screen that you're looking at. And the only issue I'll have is not being able to read chat. But yeah, you'll be able to see it. The only thing that you won't be able to do is, you know, you won't have it. But if you get a headset, it was just like the crash landing in Star Trek. Yeah, proper epic. I mean, I didn't realise it was going to happen. I don't know what the brakes are, so... this game's more dangerous than I thought. I suppose it's real simulation. Danger, simulation, danger. Back to main menu. Yeah, I want to go back to the main menu because I wanted to have a little look at out in the middle of the sea before we finish. I want to have a look at the world map. So this is the world. That's us in the north there. This is the world. One of the things that I find so incredible about the world, the Earth, regardless of your perspective on maps, one of my, you know, or the shape of, I'm going to just go with this at the moment, but one of my things I find so amazing, that there's America and all that, South America, all that, yeah, we've just been flying around there. And then, you know, there's water in the middle, you get that, everyone knows that, there's water in the middle. And over here, this is Africa, it's dark, it's night time in Africa, but there's all the airports and the places. There's Ivory Coast is around this way somewhere, that's not... Nigeria's over here, Ivory Coast around here. Yeah, so that's Africa. You've got water in between. I get it. There's water in between America and Europe. There's water in between South America and Africa. I got that, yeah. And over here you've got all this stuff, Russia and China. All that there, Russia and China. Big old landmass. India there. Coming around to this ends of, like, the archipelago. Goes into little islands. You've got, Bali is around there, isn't it? Is that the Philippines, I think? And then you've got Australia. So we get that. That's because we look at that. That's the land. And then it connects up there, doesn't it? Up the top with America again. So, but what about this? Look. What about that? That blows my chuffing mind. If you rotate it properly, you can't see any... Well, you can see the edge over there of one part and the edge of one part of the other. But if you dropped in the middle of that, that's what shits me up. Let's just go from there. I don't care where we go. Let's just fly. If you drop in the middle of that, like, there's nothing. And it's so far away that it's the entire side of the Earth away. Both things. So if you're in the middle, this is as far away as you can be from anywhere. This is as far away as you can be from anywhere, look. Smoke out the window of the plane. This is as far away as you... Look, nothing on the map, so we don't need that. There's just nothing. Doesn't matter which direction we look in. Fucking nothing anywhere. Anywhere. Nothing anywhere. Isn't that weird? Is that lost? Is that the middle? Put it lost? I just find it so compelling, this part of the Earth, that there's... I think there are a couple of tiny islands. Yeah, I'm trying to take us down, mate. I'm trying to take us dangerously close to the water. I think there are some islands, like right in the middle of nowhere like this. Like a little volcanic one. But really, there's nothing, is there? How far? We're really high up in this plane.
Overspeed. Full up. 500.
Ooh,
Stall.
that's what I want.
Stall.
It's alright.
Stall.
It's got a different voice in this plane, look.
Landing gear.
Not landing gear.
Landing gear.
Alright, landing gear. Right, let's imagine that then. There we are. Crashed us in the water. You're not gonna, like... Your little slide comes out, doesn't it? Your little slide. You hope that this ain't gonna float like this, I'll tell you that. This is listing badly and it's already sinking, filling with water. So your little slide comes out, you've got your life jacket on. And then what? What are you gonna do? You're gonna swim. What are you gonna do? We could go near Antarctica, yeah, we could go there. But what are you gonna do here? This is one of... I've thought about this so often. Like, when we first got virtual reality in the UK, my friend Matt got a virtual reality headset and put it on, and it was like Google Maps, Google Earth. It's incredible. It's like this, you know, flying around places. And he was like, "Where do you want to go?" And I said, "Oh, I want to go here." And I took us here. And he was like, "There's nothing here. What do you want? What do you want to go here for? Don't you want to see the pyramids?" Or like, and I was like, "No, this is as far away as you can get from any other people. If we had crashed our plane here, it's just us. There ain't no one coming to rescue you. This is the literal middle of nowhere. Not the middle of somewhere, not the middle of the Sahara Desert, middle of nowhere. Not out in the countryside, middle of nowhere. That's somewhere, that's the countryside. This is nowhere, there's no land, there's no... All there are sharks and death and floating and hoping. And like, what currents? I don't know if there's even water currents are going to take you somewhere, I don't know. But that's it, that's your hopes, isn't it? Water currents take you somewhere, because... And it's going to take a while, because it's as long as it takes to get to anywhere in the world. This is as far away as from anywhere you can be. So it's going to take you as long as it takes to get to anywhere in the world from here. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Landing gear.
Landing gear.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
And now that
Landing gear.
chuffing computer won't stop.
Landing gear.
I'll put the landing gear out, it'll make you happy. There you go. It enjoyed that, it liked that. Look, we've landed. Oh, chuff, we've landed. I'm going to rev up the engine. It's working. Look at this! Don't think we'll get up enough speed to save ourselves, but we'll do this all the way. We'll taxi back to dry land. Now, if I did this and just held it here, it'd be like Mr. Beast. I'd have to take a day off because it would take about 9 hours. I don't know how long it would take. I think it would take longer than 9 hours. We'll have to work it out. Do we have a blow-up dinghy? You wouldn't want to be out there on a chuffing dinghy, I'll tell you. And it looks calm here because this is a simulation. But imagine the waves out here. At the furthest point from any land, the waves are going to be big. Big old waves. Nothing to slow them down, to crash up against. Depending on weather, you're going to get big waves around here. I can't seem to make us take off, so... just leave that one there. But that is interesting to me. That's one of the most, in my opinion, you know, they do extreme sports and they want to go up the mountain, or, you know, you want to go up into space. That, for me, is one of the most extreme places. We don't know much about the deep ocean, and we don't know much about, like, being out in the middle of it there. You wouldn't survive. Worse than the desert. Right, so... that's relaxing, though, isn't it? It's relaxing. Take you to the worst place on the world. Scariest, worst place. It's nice and relaxing if you... naughty in chat. No one's been naughty in chat, are they? I don't think so. There'll be an automatic mod system though, won't there? I think you're alright. We'll have a look near Antarctica. I mean, we're not doing a flat Earth stream now, but like we can actually have a conversation about, because there's also the I really wanted to have a conversation about the Tesla, because Tesla put videos on their rockets and fire them up into space. But yeah, let's go and have, which one do you want? Antarctica, down south. It's dark at the moment. Got jazzy music for this, don't know why. I'll have to, if it's supposed to be a relaxing stream, I'll have to sort that out. Because that's getting way too jazzy. Thanks. I mean, this is definitely a computer simulation that I have, you know, so... Like, no one telling me, oh, but it's a CGI. Yeah, this is definitely CGI. I'll tell you something else when people moan about CGI images of the Earth and, you know... Oh, no one was being naughty, no, it's alright. Naughty. Naughty's a good kind of bad, though, isn't it? If you're being naughty, it's a good kind of bad. Being evil or vile, that's horrible. Being naughty, oh, cheeky, naughty, oh, naughty, oh, you're naughty. It's alright, that is. It's night time. We're not going to see much because it's chuffing night time. Which is a bit of a shitter. I think I can do that from in-game, though. Hang on. Ready to fly. Okay, it's night time, so I get that. But, haven't I got one of these... Can't I do the weather? Yeah, weather. Time, look. Live. This is what it's really like live now at 3 in the morning. But, I can... No, I can't. Oh, I can just do this, look. I don't want to mess with that, I want to be live, but I've done this now. I don't know if that helped. I mean, maybe it's always dark. This is it. Maybe there's a confusion in the, maybe in chat, maybe there's a confusion in the English words and American words that the Americans say English words. Look, they're confirmed, not naughty, don't worry. It must have just been a confusion. Lost in translation, because also we don't get to hear people say the words out loud in chat, so, like, she probably wasn't calling you naughty, Joe, like, not in a serious way. But there's no, like, you know, you can't determine that just from the words, can you? Weather. I want it to be daytime, really. That's all I want. Just the daytime, if we can have that. I don't think we can, look. Is it always dark at the South Pole? I haven't got a clue. It's chuffing well dark now, though, look. Dark and freezing cold, look. Put real time back on. This is what it would be like now. Fly you out there. I can't even land because I can't see anything. Should try and land. This is probably the most... Pull up, it says. Shove off. Probably the most dangerous thing you can do. Land at the South Pole.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
In the dark. This is your captain speaking. We're flying over the South Pole, so did you pack a coat? Commercial flights go there, maybe so. It must be light at some time, yeah. 500, hang on, what? Pull up. There it is, stalled. That'll do, stalling's fine. We can't fly off and hit the,
Don't sink. Don't sink.
Don't sink.
Don't sink.
Oh, chuffing, hey! I've turned us over. This is your captain speaking. This isn't in the manual. So, the landing gear's down though, look.
Landing gear.
Landing gear, look.
Landing gear.
There's your landing gear.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Landing gear, look.
Landing gear.
Go on, do your landing gear out. It won't do it now, it's broken. Yeah, I broke the landing gear. We're up.
Landing gear.
We're upside down.
Gear. Landing gear.
And the emergency lights are going off in the cabin.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
And out there, it's snowy wasteland.
Landing gear.
What are we going to do now?
Landing gear.
Landing gear. I'll give you landing gear. What are we going to do now?
Landing gear.
Between us,
Landing gear.
we've got to flip this plane
Landing
over.
gear. Landing
Otherwise, we die in the cold.
Landing
And I tell you what, I don't want to get out and
Landing
try to flip the plane over because it's going to be
Landing
cold out
gear.
there. As soon as you touch it, your hands are going to be stuck to the freezing cold outside of the plane, aren't they? But what are we going to do? Can't even do the landing gear. Do the flaps, look. I can do the flaps.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Properly broke it. Let's do the engine. I'll try and waggle it free. It ain't gonna go. Just burning the fuel. And we're gonna need that to make a fire. And then we're gonna have to start eating each other. That's all there is to it. I'm a vegan, so you might as well eat me first. Because I don't want to eat you. So you might as well eat me first. I'll take one for the team. I crashed this here. I'll take one for the team. Obviously, you don't have to murder me completely straight away. You can just have a part of my arm and one of my legs. I can get some satisfaction seeing you enjoy the barbecue. I'll get some satisfaction seeing you enjoy your meal. And then then you can do me proper over and I don't know, eat what you like then. Have a nice salad. There's no salad out here. There's nothing. There's the stars though, and that's interesting, isn't it? Stars, because that's one of the things they say about proves the Earth isn't flat because of what stars you can see from where you're standing and the way the stars exist in the sky. So that's nice. We can look at the stars as we freeze to death while we barbecue each other. How does that sound? Does that sound nice? Does that sound like... This is supposed to be a relaxing, chill stream. The whole concept of the stream is it's a relaxing, chilled stream that people might watch if they're going to go to non-nights. Nice, relaxing flights. We'll have to do some of the... What they should have done is they should have had not just the simulator from the cockpit, but when you're on that big commercial aeroplane, they should allow you to be in the actual rest of the plane, the fuselage. Like, they should allow you to go back and sit in one of the nice first class seats, have someone else fly the plane, have the autopilot fly the plane, and let us just sit in the first class compabin. It's a compartment and a cabin rolled into one. It's a compabin. So I'm going to be in the first class compabin. Yeah, I've never been in there before, so I have on a flight, because it was quite quiet, gone up to the top and poked my head through the curtain. Get out there, you chuffer. Get up. Get back in your seat, you. Where are you from? You are England. Get back in your seat, you. You're not supposed to be up in the first class compabin. You're back there. You're streaming. What? That's not supposed to happen. So, it was probably bad internet at the South Pole, though, isn't it? It's probably really bad internet at the South Pole. Although there's nothing to get in the way, is there, of the signal? The router's not going to be like... There's nothing... Is it, unless you have an igloo? There's an igloo in the way. There's nothing... Bad signal, though. At the South Pole. So we're dead at the South Pole. We're not. We're still alive. We've still got the cabin heat, haven't we? This is your captain speaking. We've still got the heat of the aeroplane while it exists. Until the batteries run down. We don't have to resort to barbecuing each other over petrol from the engine. And if you would like to extract petrol from the engine, it's going to be dangerous. So, good luck with that. Look, 59 Fahrenheit in here. What's that, look? Don't know what that is. We'll use that, look. Emergency use only. On. That's it, that'll call them. Won't it? That's a saved. That's a saved there, that little switch, look. Off. We're fucked. Just switch that on, though. That little light flashes, and that's it. Don't have to do anything now, we just wait. Leave the heater on. Just wait. Yeah, I'm strapped in upside down, yeah. Yeah, just leave the heater on. Just wait. Probably learn about these dials while I'm waiting to be rescued from the South Pole. Someone will be along in a minute, won't they? Someone will be along in a minute. The wipers, I knew they should have window wipers. Let's put them on. Move Russer X to interact. What do you mean Russer X? Fast, let's put them on fast. Thanks. That's better, isn't it? The window wipers. That'll wear out the battery quicker. We'll die sooner. So I better turn them off. But they do have window wipers. Do not operate on dry glass windshield wiper. Well, let's push the boat out, eh? Doesn't matter now, does it? Because we're all going to die, so... Let's just switch them off. Park. We'll put them in park. It won't let us... Because we're not parked, so let's just put them off. Off. Just tilt my head round like that to look at this panel up there. And, overhead and sub-panel lighting. It's alright. Avionics brightness. Instrument lights. Got a lot of switches to play with, haven't we, while we slowly freeze to death in the Antarctic. Someone might come. Emergency use only. So we wouldn't be messing with that if it wasn't an emergency. Although, it's just there, right next to your elbow, isn't it? So, how easy is it to switch that on while you're flying the plane? Very easy. You'd have thought you'd have put that somewhere else, wouldn't you? Because, right there, I suppose you need it right there in case something bad happens. I don't know. Don't ask me. It's my first time flying to the South Pole and I've killed us all. So, what are you going to do? Got flares. Yeah, we could use flares. But... I don't know. Maybe save them to cook the inside of my head when the petrol fuel runs out. Flares, yeah. So why not? Actually, why not? Why not get out there and set off a few flares in the sub-freezing wasteland? Why not get out there and set off a few flares in the sub-freezing wasteland? You'll enjoy yourself. You enjoy yourself. I'm going out of the plane on maybe some time. You enjoy yourself. What's the worst that can happen? It can't get any worse than this, can it? I'm just going to move into the passenger seat then. There's the... these aren't helping anymore. A lot of polish went into that for it to live at the South Pole for the rest of its existence. Oh, there's a little... what's this? Inoperative. Little keyboard. Little keyboard down there. All the stuff, hasn't it? Like, cars don't have all this stuff, do they? Look at that. It's like a switchboard. Cars don't have that. Why do you need that? What's that for? All you do is go along and fly up in the air. We've learned about what all the things are. Left and right. Up and down. Forward and back. Don't die. Try not to stall it. On and off. Fast and go. Fast and slow. Throttle. You know, we know that. But... what's all this? Surely you can't need that many buttons. Like, surely you can't need that many buttons. Even the telly don't have that many buttons. Do you know what I mean? Your remote control don't have that many buttons. And they've got all this though, bear in mind. You've got all this. Speed match, look, all that, like your dashboard. You've got all your dashboard. You'd expect to have buttons on your dashboard. But, what the fuck is... what's that down there? Extra dials and stuff. It's too much stuff to keep concentrating on. Mind you, since we're going to die in a freezing wasteland, I suppose we could just have fun taking it in turns to press the buttons. They're all numbered 1 to 3. 1, 3, 1... 3, 1, 5. 1, 3, 1, 3, 3. Well, yeah, I don't think we've got any reasonable numbering system. It's random. It's just there for show, isn't it? Because if you're spending all this money on an airplane, you're going to want buttons and shit. Make you feel safe. That's the onboard aviation sonic button yeah, glad I've got that. Now I'm going to die in the snow. What's this? Can I flick that one? Might as well. I wonder if there's a fuel dump. Can we dump the fuel so that we can cook my body on it? Tank transfer. Go on then. Override. What's that? Standby pump. Inoperative. Cross-feed flow. So this is like messing about with the fuel. You don't want to mess with that. Why do they give you buttons for that? You shouldn't be messing with that. Certainly not if you're in the air. Standby pump. Auxiliary transfer override. Like, if you're up in the air, I suppose this is, you're going to try and fix. Imagine that. You're going to try and fix the engine fuel problem up in the air. I wouldn't be messing with that. I'd just be like, chuff that off, right off. Imagine that. You're driving, yeah, like, because you've got a car. You know what a car's like. You're driving, and you've got your fuel meter, and then just down here, you've got, in case the engine starts to fuck it, you've got like a secondary fuel pump tank system that you have to be Alfred Einstein to know how to work. You wouldn't do it. You just pull over and you just say, look, that's it, fucked. Call the AA. Flick that switch. Call the AA. Flick that switch there, look. Call the Automobile Alliance. Not the Alcoholics Anonymous, but the Automobile Alliance. Can I go back in? Oh, I can go back. Look. Oh, I can't go all the way. You chuffers. You should, that's where you're sat, look, that's where you're sat. You should let me go back there, though, game. For 50 quid, you should let me go back there. Shouldn't just all be about the pilot. You're in that, you're strapped in, you're hanging upside down. We're gonna have to use these seats to keep ourselves alive. There's an emergency button there, I should press that in this. Feels right, I should press it. Doesn't it? Won't let me press it. Feels like now's the time. If any time's the time, now's the time. I'll just remind you, this is your captain speaking. We're upside down at the south. This is your captain speaking. We're upside down at the South Pole. Safety warning. It's a bit late for that, isn't it? A bit late for that. Safety warning. It's definitely a bit late for that, you chuffer. Safety mask. That should have been flashing a lot earlier. We've got the computer though. We can have a game of. Doesn't look like it does make games, does it? Doesn't look like it does games. In fact, all it's doing is draining our life-preserving power. Marcus beacon. We'll have that. Turn that on. On or off. There's another switch for you. Have it on. Don't even ever have it off, so... Don't even know we got a switch for that. Beacon receiver audio. I don't know what that is. The crew volume. The crew volume. I can turn your voices up and down. Transmission mode. We're gonna die in the snow. Transmission. I can move the transmission. Don't know why. What it is. I can do it though. It's got all the buttons, hasn't it? It's got all the buttons. Just that we're... Just that we're dead in the snow. That's all it is. You haven't missed anything, we're just still dead in the snow. That's it for this episode. Dead in the... I can't say it again, can I? This is your captain speaking. I'm not saying it again. I'm not saying it again. I never said I was the best pilot in the world. I just thought I wouldn't be able to crash out in the fucking wilderness. There's nothing out here to crash into. I managed to crash us into the only thing that was out here to crash into, which is the chuffing earth, and it flipped us over. I didn't expect that. Never seen a plane do that. It's not like a skateboard, is it? Tony Hawk's Pro Jet Fighter 2. Jesus. We've gone arse over tit. Everyone else in the plane is really cross with me. We've gone arse over tit. Everyone's cross with me. I thought you said you could take us to the South Pole and have a look. Yeah, well. There's no point in being that cross with me. You know, I'm going to let you eat me. And I'm vegan, so I'm probably quite... I'm not especially muscular, though, and muscles are the main bit that you eat. So you're going to have to just, you know, make do, aren't you? But... I don't know. Can I... Is it alright if I chew off a finger and see if it's... See what it's like? Is it alright if I chew off one of my own fingers and see what it's like? Since we're going to be eating me. No animals killed, yeah. No animals killed. A slice of pie, look. Yeah, it'll be nice. You know, you got the luxury cabin. And you can just eat my frozen corpse. There's your luxury cabin in there. I'm not allowed in it. Only you're allowed in that, so. Little ashtrays in the... On the seat. Are they little ashtrays on the seat handles? I don't know. There might be. To encourage you to smoke on the plane. I heard that they still put ashtrays in the toilets in planes because people still secretly go in the toilets to smoke cigarettes in the planes. Naughty. You're not supposed to. And if you start a fire on the plane, I remember asking this because there was an ashtray in the toilet. And I remember asking the flight attendant, and she said, oh, because if you threw the cigarette down the toilet, then it might go on all the paper. I don't know, paper in the toilet or whatever's in there. I don't know. It might start a fire in the toilet. And then if it does that, then we've only got like 3 minutes to live, because you might think a plane crash is bad, but starting a fire, and this is relaxing, this is my relaxing stream, remember? This is my anti-anxiety relaxing stream. Relaxing plane, chill stream. It is chill, it's fucking frozen. We're upside down in the South Pole. So if you start a fire on a plane, because of the lack of oxygen, because you haven't got as much pressurised cabin and all that, the fire will eat the oxygen. And you might think you're going to burn to death. You will burn to death pretty quick. But the oxygen as well, there'll be an issue there, let me tell you. And by the time you've realised what's going on, it'll be too late. So that's why they still have ashtrays on planes, is because some people that smoke, even though they're not supposed to, they want them to put them out in the ashtray, for Christ's sake. Please don't burn us all to death. I'll never let you go. I've not seen yeah, good times burning to death. We could still burn to death in the frozen wastes of Antarctic. There is still that option if you don't use the ashtrays provided, so bear that in mind. Yeah, I haven't seen Titanic. You know why? Right, I've never seen Titanic. There's plenty of room on the door for two. Well, there must have been other floating objects as well. I don't know why it was only... Anyway, look, I've never seen Titanic, but I don't have to, because everyone else has said exactly what's happened in it, although I could tell you what's happened, right? I've never seen it, honest to God. honest to God, I've never seen it, but it's not my sort of film. It's just not my sort of film. But, and also, you know what's going to happen before you sit down. With most films, like, you don't know exactly what's going to... I know what's going to happen before you sit down. That boat's going to sink, you chuffer. Right, look, what happens is, they're on the docks, and Leonardo DiCaprio is on the docks, and he's poor, but he can't really afford a ticket. But he gets on there somehow, like some wangle. Runs some wangle. This is... You might as well listen to me, because we're going to die in the South Pole. You know, he's going on about the fucking Titanic. I've seen the film, mate. I've seen it. I don't need you to tell me. Yeah, but look, we're going to die at the South Pole, so I've got to keep your spirits up somehow. So he's there, and he's got on the chuffing boat. I don't know how. He's got a wangle. And then once he's on there, right? Once he's on there, you'll still get caught if you're smoking the lav. Yeah, they can detect you, but it's how you dispose of it. I don't care once they've detected me. It's too late once they've detected me. I'm smoking. Oh no, that's always my theory on that. I'll tell you a little... I'll go back to Titanic in a minute, but I'm one of these people. I don't know if this is a good thing to say on the internet, but you know, sometimes I smoke naughty, don't I? I'm naughty smoking, and I just like, look, if I'm in an open public, if it's public and it's open and there's like wind blowing, I don't have to worry too much. I'm not going to go around like Bob Chuffing Marley, but I don't have to worry too much. Like, just get a grip. Like, someone can smell it. So smell it. Okay, these people smell things. It's not a bad smell. It's not the worst smell. Someone smells it. It's fucking whatever. Someone smells it. Like, so, and then like you get trouble. Oh, can you put that out, sir? This was me when I was young, right? When I was young, like, not so much local. I don't want my local pubs to want me barred. But if I'm visiting, and I'm in the beer garden and I'm smoking, and they, excuse me, sir, what are you like? You know, then fine. By that point, I've already smoked most of it, so fuck off. Yeah, I'll put it out now. Fine, I'll put it out. If they eject me from the premises, they eject me. I'll go to another bar. But you know, if I'm just out quietly in the back garden having a little chuff, like, I'm not bad. I'm not terrible. I'm not like, you know, not if there's kids around. But do you know what I mean? Like, if we're adults and I'm just out on the wall outside, just doing my little thing. Oh, you go back in the bar and someone... I remember when I was younger, people used to say, oh, you smell of that stuff. This, I shouldn't be saying this on the internet, but fuck it don't matter, does it? It's just like, just conversation. And I'd be like, yeah, so what? Like, it's just a smell. Like, no one's been hurt. It's not like I've come back in covered in blood, is it? Do you know what I mean? Like, you smell of that stuff. Oh, well. Like, and I'm probably giving you the voice of an ex-girlfriend, aren't I? That's probably what I'm hearing in my head. An ex, oh, you smell of that stuff. Yeah, well, you know, I've got cool water, eau de cologne, and a bit of Bob Marley eau de toilet, you know, whatever. It's no big deal. Wasn't a big deal. I had to pay for that, and the chuffing wasn't a big deal. Anyway, look, I'm only joking, obviously. In the UK, that's illegal, so I wouldn't be doing any of it, and I can't talk about it on stream because it's illegal in the UK, thank you very much. But yeah, you know, as a youth, as a naughty youth, just be smelling of it and just doing it, and it won't matter. So, like, detection's only half of it, isn't it? And this goes for most naughty things. Like, another one, and this was probably, I suppose this is probably bad. It's probably, I rate this as being bad, but not terrible, yeah? Was, if I was in the supermarket, I don't do this anymore, I promise you, I don't do this anymore. But when I was a bit younger, and I was a bit more, you know, what have you, a bit more rock and roll, a bit more punk. If I was in the supermarket and there was something like, you know how someone might eat a grape? You know how someone might eat a grape, yeah? And that's like acceptable. Well, I'm not eating their oranges and shit like that, but if they had new stuff, and it was, I don't know about that, what's that like? Like this is a good example. A new flavour of Ben & Jerry's ice cream, yeah? Now, I know this is bad, but, and quite often I would just buy the item. Quite most times I'd buy the item, but like sometimes I'd open it and I'd be like, look, I don't know what this tastes like, and I'm not spending £5 on this just to take it home and think it's rubbish. So I'm just going to try a little bit of that, and if I like it, I'll buy it. That is bad, isn't it? That is naughty. It is naughty. But, you know, I can't throw my money away. Go back in the supermarket the next day. I'm like to return this ice cream. It tastes horrible. You know, I just want to do my chuffing thing. I know that you're going to millions of pounds go through your business, Mr. Tesco. So, you know, they might write off an ice cream every now and then. Someone open that, put it on the reduced to clear. Someone else can have it cheap. Not all the time. I just think I might have done it with a jar of jam and ice cream. Just every now and then, 1 or 2 items might have just got opened and sampled in the supermarket because fuck you, Mr. Tesco. And I don't do that now. I wouldn't be caught dead doing that now. But this is my point about this. My point about it is you never write anything down. Nowadays you're on secret camera, aren't you? But you never write anything down. And you just like, so what? Like, I got caught. Oh no. Excuse me, sir, are you going to pay for that jam? Well, I will now. Fuck it. Don't care. It's just a jar of jam. But it's like, the act of doing it, I've done it. I know what it tastes like now. You can't take that away from me. So what are you going to do? Like, I wanted to find out what it tastes like. I know what it tastes like. What are you going to do? And so, like, I am. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm spinning the dial. I'm telling you honestly, my my indiscretions. But it doesn't matter. It's fine. And like, if someone came across a jar of jam in Tesco and it was open, and it was like horrible gooseberry jam and it was already open, they'd think, oh, I'm not buying that. And whoever put their finger in that didn't like it either. So I've done everyone a favour. Now, how is it outside? Is it still cold? Yes, it's still cold. Is the sun coming up? Maybe over there. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. We're on the bottom end of the earth, aren't we, apparently? So, I think we are. But, there are stars. Do I know any of them? I'm not familiar with looking at them from this side up. I should be able to see the Southern Cross. That's it up there, I believe. I mean, I can just say that, and to you, there's just loads of stars on the screen. You don't know exactly which ones I'm referring to, so I'll go with that. Could be, couldn't it? The Southern Cross. There is another flat Earth argument about flight paths that we could look at, but we're not doing that now. We're not talking about that. We're freezing to death at the South Pole, and we were talking about Titanic. So I've never seen Titanic, but strap in flight movie time. So he gets on the Titanic, and he's not supposed to be there. He's a little chuffer. He's blagged his way on, and then through that he's interacting with the hoi polloi, the hoity-toity. He's the hoi polloi, they're the hoity-toity. He's interacting with these hoity-toities, and she's there. I don't know which one she is. She's one of these famous actresses. I know it's Leonardo DiCaprio. I think it's Kate Winslet. But I wouldn't, like, if you did me a lineup, which one of these famous actresses tore your necklace off in an airport, which one of these famous actresses threw this vodka bottle and smashed your finger, I wouldn't be able to pick my Kate Winslet from my actually I can't even think of another name to put next to her. I wouldn't be able to pick my Kate Winslet from my I don't know, like Amber Turd. Like, I only know Amber Heard because she's done this trial. Like, that's done wonders for her career in my eyes, because now I know who she is. But I'm not that interested in watching movies. In fact, maybe if her star falls so violently from grace, she might do a big drug, because she's got a big drug habit, isn't she? They say that she's not. She only does the MDMA and the mushrooms, which count as a drug habit. But I wonder if people that do that don't also do the other drugs that she said she didn't do. She says she doesn't do cocaine, but who am I to know? Apparently that's the only drug she doesn't. She does all the other drugs, but not the cocaine. But it's quite Moorish, that cocaine, isn't it? And, once you're high off the old drugs, you might make a mistake with you might end up doing a bit of the old cocaine. I don't know. Maybe she made a mistake in court when she said she didn't do any of the other drugs. Just, maybe she made a mistake. Maybe she does do the cocaine, and maybe she does it every fucking day. Like most of these cokeheads who do it every day, they don't talk about it. They're not like, oh, come and have a look at my big bag of cocaine, are they? They keep it on the down low. Like Elon Musk. Not that I would say on the internet that Elon Musk has been doing cocaine every day for the last 20 years, but I wouldn't, level that, because he could probably hear me with his artificial intelligence and shit. But but I'm trying to keep us warm. Like, so I just imagine these super rich are doing loads and loads of cocaine. I just think, I imagine that. Maybe it's just my imagination. But she seemed to behave like somebody who was, didn't she? Anyway, so you're on this boat, you're on this Titanic, and he's managed to get himself in with the rich crowd, and you don't know them very well, but they're his new friends. This actress, she's famous. Don't know what she is in Titanic, don't know why she is what she is. She's someone well-to-do, we'll say that. And then there's like a bit of love story goes on. I imagine she can't visit his cabin. I haven't seen it, but I imagine there's a bit of like, oh, could I visit your cabin, good sir? And he's like, no, you can't, I'm sleeping in the engine room. I imagine there's a bit of that, and there's probably, they have a dinner or some ball, and he masquerades as the hoi polloi. I know that she draws a picture of him, or he draws a picture of her, There's some drawing of some pictures, and I think they have a shag in the back of a car. I think that happens. I think coke leaves your system faster than any of the drugs, so it's hard to prove by testing. That's interesting as well, yeah, because I know for a fact that Tyson Fury, the boxer, did loads of cocaine. He said it on his Instagram, and then later on he was back in the boxing ring, wasn't he? And like I was just like, whoa, well, like, you know that you were doing drugs just not so long ago, so how long does it take? And obviously not long, yeah. And testing, schmesting, because if you're that rich, Mike Tyson actually told us on interview, Mike Tyson said that he had what he called a pisser, which was basically like a fake penis filled with urine, so that when he did his wee-wee test, he just used that, and if anyone poked their head over, it would actually look like a wee-wee. I mean, a wee-wee. It would actually look like a real, you know, phallus. It would look like his willy. So that would be strange, wouldn't it? They'd have to get in and say, "Excuse me, sir, is that a real willy? Would you mind me fondling it and finding out?" You wouldn't say that to Mike Tyson. You'd just let him go behind the curtain and do his wee-wee test, wouldn't you? Lance Armstrong was going into hotel rooms during the Tour de France and having blood transfusions. I can say that on the internet because there's been a documentary about it. So, like, fucking hell. At that end, in the sporting end, with the high money stakes sporting end, it's all going on, isn't it? We know it's going on. Steroids, all sorts. And we know they can do cycles. Like the boxers, they're not always boxing. Sometimes they're in training camp, sometimes they're on holiday. Do you know what I mean? They can just do a cycle of steroids when they're out, and then get back in the ring when they... You don't actually have to be pumping the steroids the day before, do you? I don't know. So, hair testing can be there for months. That's interesting as well, yeah. I'd be interested to see... Because Amber didn't volunteer any testing, did she? Of any description. So, just take her word for it. But yeah, so we're on the Titanic. And I think all the posh people are doing it these days. Because they think it's posh, don't they? And they've got loads of money to spend. So, like... And they get hooked on it, and their friends are hooked on it, and then they're at these, like, you know, I don't know, Ascot races or posh dinner event. I imagine that some of these posh politicians, some of these Tory politicians are on it. You know, you'd be surprised. You wouldn't think it's just... You used to think it would be just young ravers, but once you're hooked on it, and it's like a, you know, seen as a elitist thing, the rich people do it. You know, I don't know. But, yeah, so we're on this chuffing boat, right? And they're having it away now. He's thinking, this is going well. This is going well. When we get back off this boat, he's thinking, when we get back off this boat, this is going well. I don't imagine at any point he tells her that he's some pauper. I think he masquerades as a rich fella the whole time. I don't know, I've never seen it. Has it in the back of the car, and then, uh-oh, just as you're getting into that and you're starting to forget the fact that there's an iceberg on the horizon. Because we all, you know, the whole gist of the film, what they've got to do for you, the difficulty in making this a good film, which they probably did make a good... We're just out in the... For anyone that's watching, we're out in the South Pole, okay? We're at the South Pole, have crashed us, we're upside down. This is your captain speaking. I'm talking to the crew, to my crewmates, my Ganji Puka Warrior crew. So if you're tuning in now and you think, what's going on? Don't worry. So they're upside down, yeah? No, we're upside down. They're in the... Hang on, I'm getting to that. They're on the boat, and what the film producer, the director, the writers, what they have to do is they've got to weave this narrative, create this lustrous visual context, so you're in this, like, world of the rich on board. Because the Titanic was like hoity-toity. It was like the big shadingo. You know what I mean? Like, if you're on the Titanic and you've got your ticket for the... You know, you're the rich people, and they've got like a ballroom, and they're wearing all the jewellery, and they're like having it large with the lobsters, probably lobsters. And I mean, I'm vegan, I wouldn't want a lobster, I'll just have the chips. Look, anyway, look, they're all doing that, yeah? And you're starting to lose yourself in this world of luxury aboard this ocean liner. You're starting to lose that. You forget that out there is the sea. Even you probably have a few scenes. Oh, there's that scene, isn't there? She stands like that, and he's like holding on to her, and she's like, I'm the king of the world. Or no, maybe he's the king of the world. One of them, it's like the Lion King where they hold them up. It's like that. They do that. You know that you're on the sea there, but that's still full majesty, isn't it? It's full majesty. So it's not like you're on the sea on a boat. You're like part of this majestic experience. And they want to... The key thing they have to do is to captivate you in this, to draw you into this, so you forget, you actually lose track of time in a way. You become engrossed in their love story, and you forget that it's all about to come to a crashing halt. And at that moment, at that very moment, when you've just about forgotten, when you're in this luxury world and you're enjoying it, then boom, iceberg, and it all goes to shit. That's what I imagine. I haven't seen the film. That's what I imagine they try and do. Oh, there's another angle. There's a money angle as well. He saved her from committing suicide. So it's this love. It's a bit Romeo and Juliet as well, isn't it? It's this there's with Romeo and Juliet. They're from the wrong side of the Montagues and the Capulets, warring houses in. We're set in Italy, aren't we? In Romeo and Juliet, Verona. In fair Verona, where we lay our scene. Yeah, we're in Verona, aren't we? Or is that Two Gentlemen of Verona? Maybe it's the same place. Anyway, they're at war, and the Romeo and Juliet are from the opposing houses, and so forbidden love in that aspect. But it's also, it's going to end tragically, because I don't know if you know that it's going to end tragically. When the very first performance of Romeo and Juliet happened, maybe they were surprised, but I'm led to believe that people knew what was going to happen in the play even back then. So, you go in with your eyes open in a way. So Romeo and Juliet's the same. You know it's going to end badly, but you lose yourself in the love story to the point where you're at that zenith of the love story when it's at its most wonderful, where they do the proper kiss and consummate the love and what have you, and then it gets torn to pieces. So same thing with Titanic. That's what I'm expecting from it. And then the thing hits, it all goes to shit. You've probably got some quite interesting action scenes because it's a big blockbuster movie, isn't it? So probably more interesting than this. My engine's still on. Still got the propellers on there, look. Can't see it because it's dark at the South Pole. The sun's just over there, look. Over there. So it's like that, but big blockbuster, waves crashing, and the band play as the ship sinks, I imagine. And there's some heartfelt. Some rich fucker pushes some kids out of the way to get on the boat, on the lifeboat, and some poor people don't manage to get on the lifeboat, and you find it heart wrenching. And then, like you say, finally at the end, there's this door. I know about the door. I've seen it in popular culture, and one of them's floating on it, and the other one has to die. And they literally just let it go and happen, don't they? They just say, fuck it then, alright. I'll have the door. You can have the knockers. No, get off me knockers. I mean, just the handle. You can have the handle. Get off the handle. It's going to sink. She's kicking him. Get off the handle. And he floats down. Sinks down. Isn't floats. Floating's coming up. Sinks down. And that's the end of Titanic. And then it fades to today, where there's some piece of jewellery and some old woman's got it, and she's like, I was actually there, that was me. I was the lady that was on the Titanic. It's me. So there you go. You won't be going on a boat again in a hurry, will you? Interesting, I suppose, that we'll have to look into the conspiracies. Maybe it'll come up on we're going to do the conspiracy theory iceberg continued once YouTube decide that, because YouTube has now decided that video is acceptable. But YouTube's been shadow banning our videos recently, so we're going to do that in the future. We are coming back to that. We've got like this endless carousel of variety content, and what I tend to do is pick up a thing like the conspiracy theory iceberg or Tartaria and run with it for a bit. And sometimes, like some games like Green Hell, we didn't get to the end of Green Hell. We just didn't get to the end of it. I wasn't good enough at playing the game to complete it. But I intend to go back one day. So Conspiracy Theory Iceberg, I've picked that up and I want to watch the whole 9-hour video. I want to go through every conspiracy theory that is suggested in all of the iceberg and have a little chat about them. But the first video got a shadow banned off YouTube, so I'm not sure it's a good idea to continue in that way. But we'll try, you know. Oh, the musicians did play on to the bitter end. Yeah, I heard that rumour. I mean, I don't know if it can be verified. Maybe they did. Maybe you would. I mean, what else have you got? Fapping yourself off in the downstairs disabled toilet. It's not that really good. Trying to eat all the lobsters at once. Jerking yourself off under the table. No, I tell you what I would do. I'd actually have a beer. I'd just say, fuck it then. Like, you know, I'm allowed to have one now. I'd have a beer and just sit there on a wonk, like on a tilted like that, on a big wonk with my. Every time I put my beer on the bar, it would slide to the other end of the bar, and I'd have to catch it again, putting it back, sliding and catching it again. Play it again, Sam. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. You know, I'd probably do that. But in actual fact, actually, no. What you'd want to do, either I'm getting off the ship and I'm surviving, right? Or I don't want to know what's going on. A beer wouldn't be good enough. I'd have to get completely blackout drunk in a matter of minutes, wouldn't I? I'd have to be on the hard stuff. Because I wouldn't want to know what's going on. I'd just, you know, that would be a horrid way to think about it. Let's not think about that now. It's supposed to be a relaxing stream. We're dying in the South Pole where you don't have to sink. You just freeze to death as the battery runs out on the plane. The fuel is going down on this. The fuel is going down, I think. So we're going to die in this way, a much more sedate and peaceful way. Eventually, the battery will run out, the cabin temperature will drop, and you'll just freeze to death. You'll get confused as you go, but you'll just sort of black out. So. Are you doing conspiracy theories in the chat, you chuffer? No, you're alright. They were actually really people, and they owned Macy's department store. Oh, wow. They put the real people in the film. That's cool. I don't know if they put the actual actors in the film, but actually writing their stories into the story is cool. But then also, it's kind of disrespectful because they went through this really serious thing, and we've turned it into like a blockbuster movie where, like, you know, like some things that didn't happen maybe happened. We write some facts and some fictions, and we take your real life story, like the tragedy that defined your life, and then we turn it into, you know, blockbuster money. Leonardo DiCaprio can do a few things that weren't real. Do you know what I mean? I think that's a little bit. It is always interesting to work real people into stories, like in Forrest Gump, the way they work, you know, those real events of American history into Forrest Gump's story. But it also kind of like, in a way, if you don't learn history first and then you just watch the documentaries, not the documentaries, see, I've said documentaries, if you just watch the films, you might get a sort of naively cartoonified portrayal of a real event, and then like you might think, oh, that was what, like, do you know the way I was talking earlier about these places in the world that I thought Egypt was desert and pyramids were big, and because I'm thinking on a sort of, in a fantasy way, like an abstraction that I've created in my mind based on the way the media has shown me these places more often than not in media. Fantasy media, you know, fiction, like stories, films. Yeah, the Titanic film's not a documentary, is it? I bet if it was, I bet if they remade the actual voyage as like an obdoc, it would be really boring for a while. Maybe interesting. Maybe you'd go around the, you know, maybe go around the cabins and have a look, and there'd be people's stories to tell. Bit interesting, maybe not terribly boring actually, people's stories. And then all of a sudden it'd go to hell, and it'd be horrible. But that'd be the reality. I suppose they did play the instruments when they went down. They got the bits from the reality and wove them into the story. I don't know. You couldn't make it a completely false narrative, could you? Otherwise people would say, oh, Titanic, the film, is nothing like the real thing that happened. So you wouldn't want to do that either. There you go then. This is your captain speaking. We're going to put Titanic in the DVD player now on the front screen. You can watch it. You're upside down though, so you'll have to watch it upside down. This is your South Pole excursion. I hope you've all brought a coat, like Snip said. I hope you've all brought a coat. We're going to have to break off pieces of wing and start burning them. Otherwise, I've switched that switch, and I'll tell you what, they're taking their time, aren't they? They're taking their time on that emergency use switch over there. Because I switched that ages ago, you chuffer. They're taking their sweet time. You're darn tooting. I can't seem to navigate my way over to the switch. There. Oh, no. There. There, over there. They're taking their sweet time. Emergency use only. I'm glad we got that, though. That made me feel better. Switching that. The descendants of the helmsman were offended by the characterisation. Well, there you go. Wow. They weren't pleased. It's weird, isn't it, as well, with art and culture and like that, is that you give it enough distance and they can't tell you how they feel about it, so you just go for it. You know, we've got endless films about historical events, haven't we, that may or may not be historically sympathetic, and you know, you don't know how people would have felt about it. You think maybe it'd be like nice that you were remembered, but you know, just looking at the Johnny Depp trial, like, it depends how you remembered, isn't it? So yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Are we just waiting for sunrise? I don't even know if the sun's gonna come up, because it's real time. So I don't have a fucking clue, to be honest. That's the Northern Lights, maybe. I don't know. They say Northern Lights, you know, you can see the Northern Lights. What you can actually see is the remains of our plane flashing away. And we're in the South Pole anyway, so we won't. They'll be on the other side. Yeah, hang on. If the Earth, oh, I've come up with one. I just come up with one. Then I'll just say. Should I say, if the Earth's flat, what happens if you go on the other side? Can't we get to the other side? That would be, because it's not just about flying planes and shit there, is it? Surely we'd be able to eventually get to the other side in some, like, either digging down or going over and round. I don't know. Wonder what's on the other side. Probably exactly the same as our world, just all going well. You know, like I say that about alternate reality theories, alternate realities. Well, if there's an alternate reality to this one, it's the one where, like, JFK didn't get shot, and like John Lennon is still existing, playing music, and McCartney was shot, and we don't have to listen to him. You know, the alternate universe is one where Coldplay, workers like bin men and lorry drivers, and a proper band are currently, you know, making albums and doing well. We live in the shit universe, don't we? We had the whole, in an alternate universe, we'd all be Nazis and Hitler would have won the war. No, in the alternate universe, they didn't have a chuffing war. Hitler didn't rise to power and kill loads of Jews. Like, that's bad stuff. We live in the bad universe. Do you know what I'm saying? Honestly, I'm only joking, but I'm only, like, I don't want you to feel bad. Don't want you to feel bad. But the way to think about it is we're taking the hit. We're taking one for the team. In another world, our plane isn't upside down at the South Pole. It's over Hawaii or somewhere nice. We're taking the hit for the team. So good on us. Good on us. Good on the people that sank on the Titanic. Because in the alternate universe, effectively your relatives, or you know, another version of you, is having it away large, having it a lovely time. So good on them. I'll take one for the team. I'm only joking. There's lots of wonderful things in this universe. There are lots of wonderful things in this world. Yes, we are upside down at the South Pole, but I can just go to the main menu, look. I can go to the main menu, and you can have a look at all the other videos on our stream. I've made a little film, cheeky indie film about indie development. That's now available on this channel. If you scroll through the videos, have a look there. We can explore this world another day. What my plan is for the weekend is I'm going to walk the dog with Chopping Lot. Look at all that. Look how blue that is. That still baffles me. Still baffles me. You'd think there'd be a great big bit of land there. There's enough space for it. No. We're all over here. We're all over here. There's America's over there. And then you've got a blank space. Did God just like... Oh, he did, didn't he? He had a rest on the last day. He couldn't be arsed with it. He had a rest on the last day. Couldn't be arsed with it. I've had enough of this shit. Give me a rest. So we're going to come back and fly the world. We're going to do all these different places. We've got activities. We've got discovery flights. We've got all these different places to have a look at. We're going to continue doing that. I've downloaded everything that I possibly can. So we're going to go and have a look at those. And we're also going... I don't know if we're going to do flight school. I think that might be a bit boring. You tell me. We're also going to fly around the world. We're going to... After we've done the little places, we're going to use this world map. We'll do it as a regular weekly or late nightly thing where one by one we fly from airport to airport around the world in 80 days style. We go from England, maybe we have a look at Africa, and then we head north across That's Egypt there, the Suez Canal into, am I saying Arabia? The Arab nations there, India, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Russia, Australia. We'll have a little look at Australia. You know, we've got all this to do, and what I'd like to do is do it like I said, step by step. So like, imagine that we start here in England on a particular day, and we fly to a location. I try and land it at the airport. You know, that's one stream, one journey, and then we go next stream. We'll start at that same airport, and we'll fly to the next place. Do you know what I mean? As if we're doing it, as if we're doing a sort of virtual tour of the Earth. Real time. Yeah, real time, I think, if that makes sense. If it's so long I can't manage it, maybe we have to switch it up to 2 times speed for some of them. Maybe travelling across Africa, because it looks pretty big. But yeah, we can have a look at the whole world. That'll be fun. We've got time for that. Next stream on YouTube on Monday will be relaxing daytime 2 p.m. GMT YouTube stream, and then Mental Health Monday. But in the weekend now coming up, I'm going to be on Twitch and playing Genshin Impact. So I'll be uploading last week's Genshin Impact streams to YouTube over this weekend. So there's always things happening. There's Tartaria. There's conspiracy theories. That's not an end. Once we've exhausted the conspiracy theories, once we've talked about them all, then we will move on to a different topic in that space. But film called Yesterday. Hello, Capital K. Popping in at the end. It is big, isn't it? It is big. You kind of get a perspective when you're up here in space having a look at it. Little old England there. Little old England. You pick up England and you drag it over here. And then look, Africa, boom. You just drop it in the middle of it. Just swallowed by the whole place. Look at the size of it. So, flight across Africa we might have to do in 2 times speed because it might take us a long time. But I do want to fly around the world. I do want to. We could fly into Russia. I'd like to fly over Ukraine in a fighter jet as well. Have that, Putin, you chuffer. Or don't let him hear me say that, because he might poison me. Look there, look at there, look. Xinjiang. That's China. Just head out over to China, look. Just fly around China. They wouldn't like it. What are you doing over here? We'll find North Korea. Let's fly over North Korea. It's down here, isn't it? That's Vietnam, isn't it? Ho Chi Minh City. It doesn't tell you where these places are. It just shows you the airports. You have to guess. Is this Korea? I think this is Korea. It's got to be, hasn't it? Chang... Or is it not? Singapore. Singapore. It's not Korea then. Korea's around here somewhere. What's that? So yeah, I'm doing this now, and I'm just, you know, I'm just doing this with my brain. And what I actually have to do is go and get myself some. Oh, it's well late. Genshin Impact just piped in again. Genshin Impact's been off for a while. Your music's been off for a while, you chuffer. It's well late, look. It's past midnight. This is a late night stream. Chuffing hell. I'm going to go and get some food. Well past my dinner time. I'm alright, chuffer. Got to get my food and go to bed. Oh no, I'm going to be eating and then going straight to bed. That's naughty. Maybe I should go out and get a takeaway. Feels like past midnight on a weekend like this, an older me would have been drunk somewhere considering picking up a kebab or a Chinese. But new me wouldn't dream of eating that stuff. I can eat the Chinese food. I can have some nice stir-fried vegetables or what have you, but I don't want a kebab or anything like that. But I am hungry. So yeah, it's your bedtime. I was going to eat about 2 hours ago. This is what I do. I just forget. I just forget. And you'd be surprised. I haven't eaten anything all day today. You'd be surprised. It's like an eating disorder, but like a high-functioning eating disorder where I just used to live on coffee and cigarettes when I was working. And then at home, when I got home later, I'd eat my dinner. But now I am at home. Now I am at home picking up a Chinese. That's what we do. We pick up a Chinese. Not an actual Chinese person, a Chinese meal. In America, right, you'll be amazed at this. In America, you have your Chinese meals and they come in little boxes, don't they? You get this little box, like a carton. Don't have that in England. We don't have that. What we have is like sometimes it's a plastic, like microwavable takeaway dish, like microwavable little plastic lid on it. And sometimes it's metal with a plasticky lid thing, metal. And you get your Chinese, you pick up a Chinese, or an Indian, you could pick up an Indian. And you get that on the way home. You're drunk, and on the way home you pick up food. It's like a common thing, it's really common. And now I'm thinking about it, it's kind of strange, isn't it? Like at the end of the night, once you've drunk, you're full, like absolutely drunk as much as you can drink, and the pubs are closing. It's like, oh, you know what I'll do now? I'm going to have a nice meal. I should have done that at the start. Instead of drinking yourself into oblivion, should have done that. You should have had a nice meal and then finish it off with maybe a couple of beers, leave it at that. Why couldn't I live that life? Why didn't I do that? Why did I drink myself into oblivion and then wake up with a kebab all down my bed? Can hear me tummy rumbling now. That's it then. You be good, my little Prokos. You be good. And metal. Yeah, metal. You'd be, exactly. Can you believe that? It's like an aluminium, like, it's an aluminium. It's very soft metal. You could bend it. Like tinfoil, almost like soft tinfoil, but like shaped into a like container, and then the lid goes on, and they just bend the metal over the sides. You'd be absolutely. I'm going to show you. I can't. I haven't got the browser open. Have I? Can I do it? No. Well, another time. Oh no. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's try and get browser window. I'll go browsing. Browser window there. Genshin Impact. You don't need the task manager. You just have this and. You'll go to this one, Google UK Chinese and we don't call it Chinese takeaway really, because there's no other kind of Chinese food. Like all Chinese food is like, you know, if you say I'm going to get a Chinese, you assume the takeaway bit. Like it's not often you can go and eat in, and we do like going to a Chinese takeaway and eating in, but you just assume it's very unlike, you know, you just assume it's a takeaway. Here you go, look. See these metal containers that it's all in? Can you see that? Open link in a new window. Open image in a new tab. Look at that. That's how our China... you wouldn't get that in America, would you? In America, you have those lovely boxes that we see on the telly and the films, and we think, now looking at that is making me feel hungry, even though it's animal products. Jesus Christ. But we have metal tin things. In America, I'd be well chuffed in America because my Chinese food would come in one of those cartons like the Americans. I'll show you those now. Show the American. And in America, it's not just, you have all sorts, don't you? You have like Lebanese and Korean and all sorts. This is what you have in America. In these little boxes. And that's like the films. No, that one's too small. I don't know why. I don't know why, Rodney. There you go. But that's like the films. Whenever we watch a film in the UK, whenever they get takeaway, and in Friends, on the telly in Friends, they get a takeaway and it comes in these boxes. And we're like, oh, they look good. Oh, I'd love to have a Chinese meal in those boxes. And when ours comes, it comes like that. And we're like, well, it's still the same food, but, you know, you just feel a little bit sad inside. You just wish that you were eating out of them. And there was a restaurant that opened in my town called Noodle Box. It's not still open, but they sold takeaway noodles. And they put them in these boxes, and they sold a lot. And I tell you what, the girls at our work used to, if I said, what do you want for lunch? You choose. Oh, can we have noodle box? Yeah, fine, I don't care. It's like a Chinese meal, Chinese takeaway for lunch, but fine. You know, you choose whichever noodle box you want, put your topping in on top of the noodles. And then just because it was in those boxes, that's what they wanted, to eat out those boxes like the people in the films. But that's what we get. Tin foil trays. It's mad, isn't it? It's weird. It's a wide world, isn't it? It's a wide world. I'll tell you what's also really interesting to me in this world of ours, in the UK especially. It might be the same in America. It might not be. But in the UK, there are Chinese restaurants all over the show. Like, there are Chinese restaurants all over the place. A lot of Chinese people have opened restaurants. They cook not non-traditional, I think. I think non-traditional. slightly westernized Chinese food in these lots of different Chinese places, yeah? Lots of different restaurants. They're all independent. There's not one chain of Chinese. You'll know this if you're in the UK. Do we have fortune cookies? Yes, we do. Yeah. We do have fortune cookies. But it's not common. Like when you have a Chinese meal like this, you can see the prawn crackers in the front. We just get crackers. Prawn crackers is what we have. They don't often put the fortune cookies in. You're at the posh Chinese if they're doing the fortune cookies. But we do have them as a concept, but they're not as standard. They wouldn't always, if they'd put them in, you'd think, oh, this is nice. They put fortune cookies in. But what I think is baffling to me is you've got these Chinese restaurants all over the country. Now, they're definitely not a chain. They're definitely independent. You know they're independent. They're like, you know, Ying Yips Chinese. That's not being racist. It's called Ying Yips in our area. There's one called that. You know, there's like the Super Wok, and there's the, like, these real, all got the same fucking menu. And on the menu, you choose the items, and they're the same in different. They might come out slightly differently. You know what I mean? One place might do it with a bit more oil, and one place might have a bit more sauce. But it's the same food. Like so close that it might as well be like, you know, you go in McDonald's and it's always the same food. Some of them are so close, it is the same food. Yeah, I'm not talking shit, am I? I'm not talking shit. This is what actually happens. Not Ying Yip. That racist bastard saying Ying Yip. It's a real name of a real soup. Honestly, I should type it into Google. I'm just gonna confirm that otherwise I'm a racist. Ying Yip. Should I put restaurant? Restaurant. Just see if it comes up. There you go. Look. Oh, it's Wing Yip. Oh, I am a racist. Or is it just Wing Yip comes up more? Is it Wing Yip comes up more, or am I a racist because I'm just turned Wing into Ying? Or is it just confusion? I don't know. I'm definitely not a racist. No, it's in Birmingham. So that's where I've got it from. Superstore. It's your Chinese superstore. Now this is what happens. They all go to Wing Yip Superstore, don't they? All these different Chinese restaurants, they're all going to Wing Yip Superstore and they're buying their stuff here. They've got a miserable attitude from the cashier lady. Rude service from the guy. I want to go there now. Rude service from the guy named Joe. We should go there with the camera. Very disappointing. This review about the store, not the restaurant. I've shopped at the store once and many times. The in-store experience is worse than most supermarkets in terms of customer service. Very unpleasant experience. That rude manager should be disciplined. Unhelpful after car hit in car park under camera. Avoid. Andy, the manager of the store, is nothing short of rude and discriminatory. I want to go there. I really want to go there. I want to speak to Andy. And I will find it funny if he's mean to me. So, but look, that's the food, isn't it? That's the duck, the plum sauce, the Chinese food. That's what you get at every restaurant because you go in this Chinese supermarket and you buy it from there, don't you? So you too can have the same food as the supermarket, as the restaurant at home if you buy it from this supermarket. So that's why I imagine they all sell the same food at the restaurants. But isn't it a weird concept? You don't have that with other restaurants, that they all essentially sell the same food, but they're independently owned, completely independent businesses. But all the menus are basically the same and they all sell the same food. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? They sort of do it with Italian, like sort of Italian food. You know, you kind of expect certain dishes like a carbonara to be a carbonara whichever place you go. But isn't that weird? Like other restaurants, like if you went in like Jamie Oliver's restaurant and he was cooking the same food as Gordon Ramsay, you'd be like, what's going on here? Other restaurants, you expect the chef to come up with their own ideas. But with this, you're like, I'll go in a Chinese restaurant, any part of the country, and if it's not like this, it's not the same as I'm used to, I'll be like, what's going on here? This place is a bit off. It's not what I'm used to. Yeah, now you're getting hungry. Exactly. I haven't even had my dinner. That's why I'm doing this. But isn't it weird? Isn't that a weird concept? I might have to go to... Birmingham's just up the road. I might have to get my sister to come with me because she'll like shopping at Chinese food. Look, there's fish because people are angry. TripAdvisor. And this is recent. This is 3 weeks ago. And you wouldn't normally go on TripAdvisor to review a supermarket, would you? So he must be really, really pissing people off. So we've got to get up there and we've got to do a little video. I bet he'll throw me off for videoing. That would be funny. So yeah, you be good, my little pukas. Enjoy your Chinese food if you're having it. I'm not. I'm now going to go and eat normal food like normal people. Normal food like normal people. I'm not going to bother with the takeaways because it'll be drunky time. They'll be busy serving drunky people. They won't want to mess about with me. So I'll leave that. I'll just eat normal food like normal people. Chinese buffet is one of the victims of the pandemic, yeah. But do you know what? I used to enjoy the takeaway much more than the buffet. Just because even before the pandemic, I just used to think, oh, it's been out, how long's that been out? I want to wait for the fresh stuff to be cooked, please. And then there's never, I want to eat the most expensive stuff because it's I've paid my thing, eat as much as I can. Just load me up on the expensive stuff, please. Keep that coming. I'd always go home with a hurty tummy. Yeah, I like, these days, I actually do prefer just knowing exactly what's mine and that no one else is touching it. Leave off. Have they brought in something new out? Quick, get up. I don't want to have to quick, get up when they bring something new out. Fuck that off, man. Just bring my food out and just bring it to my plate. My table, me. It's normal restaurants. But yeah, they were alright. They had tater tots. They always had them though, so there you go. They always had, that's weird as well. Our Chinese restaurants have chips. You can order chips at the Chinese restaurant. And it must simply be that so many people, in America you might call them French fries, but it might be because simply so many people want French fries with their dinner that even though it's not Chinese food, it's gone on the menu, and it's gone on the menu everywhere. They all do them. You can get chips from the Chinese and the Indian food. Indian restaurant would put chips on the menu. But you wouldn't, like if you were running, like this is takeaway food, so you put them on the menu. But if you were running like a, I don't know, like a Lebanese themed restaurant, and chips weren't, and French fries weren't, you know, part of that theme of the cuisine, you wouldn't just put it on the menu, would you? You say, fuck that, it's not part of the, we're part of the, no, we just put whatever. I don't know what crab rangoon is. It sounds like a medical condition. You're literally eating French fries. Right, that's it. I'm going to have to go and have my dinner. I'm going to have my dinner. I've had enough of this. You chuffers. Wait, chat's up there. I need to move it up there. You chuffers, you're eating fried cream cheese in dough. That sounds nice even though I don't eat cheese anymore. Everything sounds nice to me. The hungrier you get, the more forgiving you are of the veganism. You're like, yeah, it does sound nice, doesn't it? Yeah, I mean, in principle, it is nice. In principle. Nothing wrong with that. Right, we're all going to go and get some crisps now, aren't we? We're all going to go and have a bag of crisps. I'm going to go and have a bag of cheese and onion crisps because I can eat them if they've not got... If I look on the back and it says milk, 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 I'm like, why did you do that to my crisps? But I can still get the impact of the cheesy flavour without the... without the cows having to be squeezed. So yeah. You're going to have more flying. That sounds like good fun. Just be careful. Be careful. Have a good night. Yeah, you be good. Have a good night. And I'll see you tomorrow on Twitch if you fancy it for Genshin Impact. And I'll be walking the dog in the woods. Providing I can fill myself full of lovely yummy scran right now. So sleepies or scran, whatever's your bag. I hope you enjoy it.